made for
Here's
more
a funny
child
gif
abuse.
of Cannon dabbing.
Oh yeah, you know what?
Yeah!
With all that out of the way, I guess we're just gonna keep going. Alright. We're in the meeting room.
Keep going.
Also, no, I'll ask you after the recording because it has to do with the uploads and stuff.
Oh yeah, you wanna have the first episode or whatever,
I have it edited.
Hey, that's right.
and
Also,
it's-
what does this look like now in the original? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Like
was bureaucrat last time?
They style flipped.
3 different people.
I think it was 3 different people,
Yeah,
but I
they
think
look
I took
It was
over
3
like
different
mainly.
people.
Because I remember Jelly
You
like
took over
kinda-
because it was mostly that one guy.
yeah, it was mostly. I think like Jelly was like, "Hey, I'll take over. I'm gonna drop." So I took over. So who's voicing it?
I'll take the bureaucrat again if you want. Bureaucrat.
Bureaucracy.
Hi, Rook!
It's first grade.
The
Bureaucrat, yes.
Hermes.
Allow me to introduce you. This is Major Takano. Major, this is Dr. Kiyosuke Iri.
H. Hello, I'm Irie. Yukon.
UDA seemed extremely nervous at our first meeting. He probably thought I was in charge of some suspicious organization. Please, relax. And call me Takano.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. I really appreciate it.
Please, have a seat. A model lower middle class citizen was a good way to describe Kyosuke Irie's demeanor. One could also say he was the stereotypical type of person who to get conveniently discarded after those crafty elders used their seniority to constantly pick on him. Certainly doesn't seem as cunning as I am. But that doesn't mean he isn't ambitious. Like me, he's a young person who dreams of accomplishing something great and leaving his name upon generations to come. While he acts humble in person like this, his articles were actually progressive as well as aggressive. The gap between the two was quite intense.
I've read the data concerning the Hinamizawas.
What did you think?
Well, it's really quite the shock. It's very possible there's something that steps into the dark side of today's medicine, but I can hardly control my intellectual excitement knowing it's a mystery that's yet to be solved.
Hearing that made me chuckle. Yurie is more interested in Hinamizawa syndrome, which is good enough for me. We have been through the ringer with far too many people to reach this day. For her honed intuition.
Yeah?
Did you say the full thing?
Terry said it?
Could tell. Oh, you kind of cut off a little bit. It could tell.
Yeah, cut off.
This is also like weird, like third-person narration, so I guess I'll do it.
Alright.
She would get
Wait.
along. She would get along well with this man, even if he isn't useful. Okay, never mind. Okay, it's back to you.
Even if he isn't useful to me, he won't cause any problems. Both me and my sponsor. He's the best person possible for the job. I was shocked too. To imagine a man of your experience and knowledge was just wasting away in the medical office without any responsibilities or work to accomplish. I have to say, that was a grave loss to the medical field. EA laughed. He probably thought I didn't know, but I had received detailed documents on him. So I knew why he was exiled from the limelight despite his rare talent and achievements. He displayed extraordinary skill working under a neurosurgery expert, and everyone expected a bright future from him. But he was kicked out due to an ethical controversy. Higurashi pet theory was that the antisocial behavior of individuals could be explained by brain disorder. He believed that no one in this world was born a villain, and that they were all just poor patients in need of treatment. He proposed that they were all proper and normal when born, yet as they matured, psychogenesis and various exogenous factors caused brain disorders that made them into villains. Therefore, what those evil people need isn't punishment, it is treatment, and if their diseases are treated, they will become good citizens again. That manner of thinking actually fell in line with the Confucian belief of innate human goodness. According to this theory, humans are born with the capacity for altruism toward their kind. It is only afterward that they learn and acquire cruelty. They believe that acquisition was the result of brain disorders. The human brain creates human thoughts. Therefore, if one becomes emotionally ill, that means their brain is ill. So, if their brain gets treatment, they will recover emotionally too.
Is Irie gonna give a transorbital lobotomy? Like, it's that fucking... We get a first-person perspective scene, like, from that fucking Bioshock Infinite DLC.
What is transorbital?
It's like...
Oh my god!
Yeah, like, there's this fucking scene in Bioshock Infinite DLC where Atlas just fucking takes an ice pick and he just starts tapping on the your tear ducts. It's like,
This is in Bioshock?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty bad.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, but have a
is the one where
transorbital
you
lobotomy.
go through your eye socket.
Yeah.
And
I
very
guess
tiny
another
needle.
example might be cross your heart and hope to die in Dead Space 2.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
a lot
yeah,
less
yeah, yeah.
gruesome if you fucking.
Hey, when that happens.
Eyeball.
Oh god, I love that.
Let's say hypothetically, threw Shion into the dark ether. Alright, anyway. Psychosurgery.
That field was called psychosurgery. It's fallen out of practice in the current Heisei era. The surgical techniques were applauded until mid-Showa, especially since it produced spectacular results on a chronic mental patient that was said to be incurable. The man who invented it even won a Nobel Prize. Especially since it was produced spectacular. Oh, I already read that, my bad. That was how revolutionary it was. Humans think. That's why they become ill. Everyone knows that's why those who overthink matters are prone to mental illness. When the organ that thinks and debates grows ill, humans deviate from social behavior. That part is called the frontal lobe. Put simply, psychosurgery is surgery performed to operate on the frontal lobe.
Yeah, this is lobotomy. He's talking about a
Oh, yeah,
lobotomy.
totally fucking lobotomy.
This kind of surgery doesn't require removing the whole of the cranium. A small hole is drilled through the cranium, and a special scalpel is inserted down to cut it. It's not a major surgery, just a technique for quickly operating on the precious frontal lobe. Indeed, it was a revolutionary, simply. All the severely ill mental patients miraculously recovered, so the technique spread around the world quickly. Those with obstinate and chronic mental illnesses, the severely ill trapped in deep, inescapable depression. All of those could be saved by this technique. Throughout history, humans have come up with many different religions and magic tricks to heal emotional injuries. So, needless to say, the idea of being able to treat them with a surgical technique was truly revolutionary. Yurie admired psychosurgery and pushed forward in the field of surgical techniques to treat human souls. However, from a modern human rights standpoint, severing a portion of the brain simply because someone is emotionally disturbed is absolutely out of the question. People gradually started to think differently and said that psychosurgery was inhumane. Frontal lobe controls how people think. It is also the part that makes humans act human. There were quite a few cases where that cut caused drastic, irreversible changes in the patient. A baseless happiness born from lack of thought. Change in personality. Loss of interest in everything. Major mood swings due to a lack of control over one's emotions. And even lost part of their memories. Of course, some didn't even survive the surgery. By the mid-1960s, use of psychosurgery declined. Also, due to development of psychotropic medicine, the surgery was hardly performed anymore anyway. Yet, some people still believed in the idea and continued to perform the surgery and gather clinical data. They wanted people to recognize the value of the technique once again. Some of these surgeries were performed without consent. One theory is that in Japan alone there were thousands of people who woke up from general anesthesia, only to find part of their brain had been removed. Today, to perform such a surgery without a patient's consent is considered totally unethical. It was different at the time. For one thing, the idea that doctors required prior patient consent was proliferated in the modern Heisei era. Therefore, people at the time didn't think it was that big of an issue. It was only later that people started to argue that it was inhumane. Finally, a decision was reached and the curtain closed with the rejection of psychosurgery. Later, the Japanese Society of Psychology and Neurology passed a resolution to end psychosurgery. After that, psychosurgery was banned throughout Japan and made a forbidden subject of Japanese medicine. Yurie was the leading person in the field of psychosurgery. He continued to advocate its effectiveness and results. Therefore, he was treated as a war criminal who practiced inhumane medicine, and he was exiled from the public eye. Poor thing. However, that doesn't mean he changed his beliefs. He still believes that immoral behavior is caused by brain disorders, and the secret of treating them is, in fact, hidden in the brain. The existence of Higurashi syndrome caused by parasites living in the brain that control human emotions actually affirms his theory.
If it's alright with you, I'd love to give you a lobotomy. I would love to accept this position.
Of course. Sorry.
That's fine.
In Urie's history, he would never turn down this offer. Despite his mild-mannered appearance, Urie was possessed by a mighty ambition. There was no way he didn't desire a chance to complete research that would prove himself to the medical society that ostracized him. Handing him that chance on a silver platter. Thank you very much. I knew you'd accept me. We are very lucky to have an expert like you who will be a great help.
But are you okay with me being the director? Wouldn't it be better for you to hold that position, Takano-san? I'm just a simple doctor. Being in charge of other people is,
Don't worry. I'll give you my full support. Sponsor wanted to pick a civilian. Besides, wouldn't you like to be called Director EDA?
Oh, well. But I sure hope nothing bad happens because they gave me that name.
Oh, nothing. EDA laughed to hide his embarrassment. We're building a research center in Hinamizawa. Publicly, it will be a clinic. So, with your consent, Dr. Irie, we'd like to call it the Irie Clinic.
Lord of my own castle. That's more than I deserve.
You will also be placed under the SDF, so you will be registered as a medical officer with them. Since you will be my superior, you will be a Lieutenant Colonel. Lieutenant Colonel Irie. How does that sound to you?
I'm not a military man. I'd rather refrain from being called Lieutenant Colonel. Director is already a fitting title, isn't it? Frightening title as it is. Oh my.
He's getting a chance to research brain parasites, plus the title of director of a new clinic of camouflage. Plus it comes with staff and funding. We even have support from the Defense Agency, the Ministry of Health and Welfare, as well as a research lab with state-of-the-art equipment. No wonder he's laughing so excitedly. Goofball. However, there are some risks too. Since he'll be involved with this secret research, he has an obligation to keep it a secret. Also, he is going to an area plagued by a mysterious and bizarre disease. There's no guarantee he won't contract it himself. Irie is too young to even think about those things.
Right. Yes, he's very young. He doesn't look like he's fucking. He doesn't look like he's entering his middle age.
Can I
I
point
don't
something
know
out real
anything
quick? Is that holy shit? He looks like Ryukishi, kind of just shaded in a black color at the bottom of his vest in the OG.
He looks like he
spread.
has boobs.
It look at the
A
bottom.
little
Of,
bit, actually.
For some reason the fucking in the old sprite the vest combined with the pants looks like what's his face, like Gon's hair or whatever the fuck that fucker's called from
Also,
Hunter x Hunter.
he's got a fucking.
Yeah,
he's got a
it's
weird
called-
little vest. Like, what's it with Ryukishi
I know.
having like little vests for the characters?
Two things. One, those kinds of vests are cool, so I don't blame him.
You know,
And two, it
true.
really does look like spiky hair. It looks like spiky hair. I can't unsee it.
Plus, everybody wants a cool waistcoat.
I do give Ryukishi a lot of credit. Like
That's
I'll
true.
always say, is that he makes really fucking expression. He makes art with a lot of like a fucking expression. It looks really good.
Wait, did you say his hair looks like Gon's? Wait, did you say hair?
Mr. Freak himself, Freddy Freaker.
Freak out.
Oh, good.
All right.
Pizza!
Yeah, he's too young. Okay.
1 second. Sorry, my eyes are itchy. Ugh, God, I hate allergies so goddamn much.
Yeah, me too. I find
Sorry. Aware of all the risks, he quickly signed the contract with the ambition to have people recognize his talent once again. When I saw him sign the contract, I finally... I knew he would agree to join us, but at the same time I was afraid of the chance that he would refuse. Selecting a director proved more difficult than expected, and the only candidate Takano paired well with was Irie.
Oh,
This is good. Third
selecting a
person
director
again.
proved more difficult than expected. The only candidate Takano paired well with was Irie. So if he refused to take this position, then frankly, he placed in an even worse situation. Now that Irie has agreed to take the position, Mr. Hinamizawa syndrome can finally begin. Research Center, rather the clinic, be completed next spring. The Ministry of Health and Welfare and the Defense Agency will send the best equipment and staff, plus an abundant supply of funds. Then finally, a research will begin in earnest.
Everything is going well. Of course it is. I've put so much effort into making sure things went smoothly up to this point. Bureaucrat.
Okay, that's... Congratulations, Director Irie.
Wait, what was that?
Major, the contract has been signed.
Shelly, is your mic like different this time? Because it sounds a bit rough.
It might be a bad connect. You mind if I switch headsets real quick?
Oh, go ahead.
Ellie, bureaucrat, go! Or did you do this line?
Oh my god, dude!
Apparently it was really rough, so I'll do it again.
Alright.
Okay, that's it. Congratulations, Director Irie. Major, the contract has been signed.
Blood pact has been sealed. Honestly, at that fucking point, I wouldn't be surprised if someone started talking about blood pacts.
The blood pact has been sealed. Was this a bird with a blood
Technically, this is a militia, right? I mean,
Look at all
technically,
those.
this entire like organization is like a militia. They're giving
Yeah.
each other like military titles, right?
We're all the nasty little crime people. You're a nasty little sewage boy, aren't you, Mr. Freeman?
And just all of a sudden, Irie gets the demon voice and starts going, "Your diseased blood, Satoko."
Oh yeah, I guess you missed a lot about lobotomies. That's all there is to it. Alright, anyways, back to it, I guess.
Okay.
Thank you. I look forward to working with you. Director Irie.
I look forward to working with you too, Takano-san. I hope we can get along. I'll be devoting my best efforts to this.
No, thank you. Let's both give our best. Now the position of director has been filled. Everything is set.
Oh god.
Ellie.
Wah ha 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 ha! And why are you all of a sudden? That's great. Just great. Congratulations, Takano-san. No, Major Takano, isn't it? Wah ha 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 ha!
This was all possible thanks to your assistance. I must give my thanks, all of you.
Oh, don't mention it. But we should save our congratulations until you finish your research, huh? You're only at the starting line, aren't you?
Exactly. I'll be devoting my every waking moment to this research.
We can hardly wait to see the results of what Dr. Takano couldn't finish. Wah ha ha ha! Well now, Sensei.
Different bureaucrat.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Well now, Sensei, let's not talk about business today. Let's have a toast to congratulate Takano and the Irie Institute.
Named character?
Huh?
Nagata.
Nagata.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, Mario.
You are. Oh,
Yeah,
what?
no, go.
Hello, everyone. I'm Nagata from the Ministry of Health and Welfare. I would like to say a few things before the toast.
No, Chili.
Takano-san, make sure he works hard, okay? His research center will be supporting the institute. If you need any technical support, just call him.
Make him work hard. No, I have to thank you for your support. I'm Takano. Pleased to meet you.
I mean, wait, is this one also me? Or
Yeah, you see, go.
Takano-san, let me introduce you to these gentlemen. Meet Tomitake-kun and Okinogi. Oh fuck! From the self-defense movement.
It's your son!
There he is, my boy. They're your backup from the SDF. Let them introduce themselves.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tomitake. I've been commanded to serve as an auditor for this project. I look forward to working with you.
Can we do a sprite swap of this guy?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Oh.
that's so fucking
Whoa. Wait, you think that's cute? Yeah, I guess a little.
Look,
I mean, the
like
blood
I
in the
said,
background.
I'm gonna
is
break my
Ryukishi's
silence.
fucking art has
Rishi.
soul.
I'm gonna break silence real quick. Fucking the original sprite makes him look like he's from the fucking Soviet Union.
He does.
I was
but
planning.
no,
planning
like
Oh, yeah,
Red
Tomitake.
I was kind of using an Okinogi voice for that bureaucrat, and now he's here, so fuck me, I guess.
No, not from Italia. Shut up.
I mean, I can take over the bureaucrat, like, entirely if you want.
Yeah, sure.
It's not good.
This is, I believe this is, Takano, maybe? Yeah, no, fuck it.
Somebody want to bring up that old meme we have of him in later days looking like Markiplier? Did anybody save that?
I already did the I introduced him as Markiplier, basically. Just keep going.
I think she meant the picture. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, the Tomitake. Someone had the Tomitake Markiplier PNG.
Hang on, I think I've actually got it. I think I actually... No, I know I saved it.
I hope Josh is
A
still at
minute,
that
passed,
YouTube made
a
out.
minute is torn away from me for my son.
I swear to God, we'll get you the fucking.
Give me a second, give me a second, give me a second, give me a second, give me a second. I'm still looking. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? God damn it! I know I saved it. Where the fuck is it?
We'll
Why do I have
give
so
you some
many
time to
Damn.
work on your gravel.
Why do I have so many pictures of Sans?
Why do
Why
you
do you have so many?
Hey, are you actually...
So many pictures of
What?
fans.
Oh, there it
Okay,
is.
Here we go. We got it. All right.
I answered that question with a
Producing the
simple answer. Shut the fuck up!
Producing the funny meme in now. There he is. There's our son. There's Markiplier.
Anyway, can you go to the Steam sprite since that's the one that it's
Oh,
based
yeah.
on?
He's not my son.
But the kid is not son.
I made that.
Yeah.
I made that in like a fever dream, I think.
That's the drip pose.
No, it's like it's closer to like the you know I have to do it to him pose. Alright. There, funny meme established. Now we can send Mark away.
In the actual tank top image where he has like the black hair, or where he has the hat, it's more noticeable. In this, it's a bit less noticeable.
Alrighty then. SDF information.
Nose.
I guess I could do it.
The funding for our research is largely coming from the SDF. It's only natural for the SDF to assign a watchdog and make sure research is taking place. This is talking. Con, go, Con!
Hurry. Ever, someone in a position like that should be my opponent. Why was someone in that position invited to this private party? Does that mean this auditor is on my side too? Doing that thorough groundwork, I couldn't help but feel the strength of having a sponsor all over again.
I won't be staying in Inamizawa. I only come by routinely to check up on the progress of the research.
Oh, that's too bad. Inamizawa's a beautiful place with clean air. Please come visit us anytime. Outside of work, too.
Thank you. I guess I will.
If he really is an auditor, I should maintain a good relationship with this man. He'll hold the key to all future adjustments of our funding, so long as we continue drawing it from the SDF.
I'm Okinogi. Nice to meet you.
Also, hold on a second. Does he actually have a sprite in this one now?
His name is a different color.
Oh, yep. There he is! Yeah!
Yeah!
You can stab somebody with that nose.
My name is Okinogi, and I am pleased to meet you.
I am simply cheese to meet you.
Like, I want to know, since everyone knows that Okinogi appears in Every When They Cry, Jesus Christ, does this version make him look like to be such a fucking, like...
Genuinely a fucking gremlin, man.
He's like a gremlin man.
I love him. He's the rusty patches.
Right.
If anything happens to
And
him,
then
I'll
in
kill
every
everyone
other,
in this visual novel than myself.
And then after this in Umaneko and fucking Sakonia, he doesn't look like a gremlin.
It's the nose!
Also, smile in the eyes.
Anyways, bureaucrat, go!
He is the commanding officer of the Mountain Dogs, one of our unconventional warfare units. They'll be stationed at Hinamizawa to provide your direct support, Major.
Should I consider you my bodyguard then?
Their principal duty is guarding VIPs and preserving secrets. Think of them as your hands and feet and work them hard.
Thank you!
Umatake seems to be an honest type for a military man. This Okinogi person looks the complete opposite. His main job is to preserve secrets, but I bet he's also good with espionage tactics like counterintelligence and information control. Yes, that would explain his demeanor. Since the SDF is funding our research on Hinamizawa syndrome, of course this is considered a necessary military operation. Therefore, this research has to be done in secret.
Also, this track kind of going off.
That's why a unit like this is necessary. Besides, it's very reassuring to have someone capable of combat working under me. Sorry, heartburn. Should maintain a good relationship with him.
Okay, enough introductions. Come on, Tomotaki-kun, you can relax too. Let's put aside our ranks today and have a toast.
While this is supposed to celebrate the establishment of the Irie Institute, Irie himself isn't here. But that is his job, after all. Irie is simply a puppet to fill the seat. Of course, I expect him to help a little with his expertise, but he's ultimately an outsider. This was supposed to be a gathering where I could show my appreciation to those who helped me establish the Irie Institute. It has turned into them thanking me for all of my efforts. I'm always the one to pour alcohol for others, but today people are pouring alcohol in my glass. The participants were trying to make me happy, and all the top people talked to me casually. They all praised my hard work and my efforts. My research is now recognized by many institutions. I'm ready to spread my wings wide open. And all the people who are expecting some returns once the research accomplishes something are trying to curry favor with me. But right now, I'm just very grateful, regardless of their motives.
Let's have a toast to wish the best of luck to Mio Takano-kun and also to the new Irie Institute! Alright, Sensei, please lead the toast.
Like a dream. I know. This is just the beginning. And I shouldn't be satisfied with this alone. Just for today, I can forget about everything else and enjoy this celebration. I'm not a heavy drinker, but the drinks taste good tonight, and the more I drink, the happier I get. This really is wonderful. Called Major by Tomotage, and the others is wonderful too. It's the rank my grandfather had during the war. Since I finally caught up with my grandfather, this is only the beginning. From here on, I intend to reach what my grandfather could. This is the best night of my life. I ended up leaving to fix my makeup. I'm filled with elation. Feel
I
fresh.
think we're getting some. Oh wait, that's actually the game, isn't it?
No, I think Kaneko sometimes has a weird mic thing. It's fine.
Also,
It's fixed it up.
I think she gets all the Discord notifications that's actually going through her mic.
As I say, I think
My
I know
phone is
somebody
right
doesn't.
next to my
Somebody
mic and
did.
it
Oh,
It was because my phone is right next to my mic and it was buzzing.
yeah, as I say, somebody did mute all notifications. I remember really hearing pings every time I typed in "When They Cry General."
Yeah, I heard that
Yeah,
too.
but there actually is rain happening in the game, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
In the game, yeah, don't worry.
Alright.
Did you already say this?
Oh, I was about to.
Okay, good. Yeah.
I need to feel fresh air to calm myself down. My heart is about to explode because I'm so happy. Gathering is taking place a little distance away from the main building. The restroom is in the main building, so we need to walk across the hallway. Beautiful and welcoming Japanese gardens visible from the hallway. I usually don't like the rain, but I don't mind it at all today. I feel like even the raindrops are congratulating. Cool air feels pleasant on my hot skin. Give me a moment to notice how unsteady my footsteps have become. Maybe I drank a little too much. It isn't like me to drink more than I can handle. Although this is a party, I don't want to embarrass myself, so I decide to cool off a little by looking at the beautiful Japanese garden. I found an elegant chair set on a red carpet nearby and sat down on it. As I was with the associates until now, I was forced to constantly be on guard against embarrassing myself. But now that I was alone, I could let go and truly relax. I look up to the sky. I realize it's still raining hard, but in the distance, the horizon is a little lighter. Maybe it won't be raining for much longer. Well, that's normal. Rain stops eventually. No matter how cold it is or how hard it's raining. Rain stops eventually. I saw a pair of sandals and an umbrella. Almost invited me. So I took them into the garden. The tasteless laughter coming from a party sound far away. Tilted the umbrella and looked up to the sky. Felt the raindrops hit my face. And gazed up at the sky for a while, getting all about my hair getting wet. I thought the rain would cool down my boiling heart. But as my body got cold, I started to feel miserable. My bare feet were all swollen. The throbbing pain I felt made them seem twice their normal size. Gravel road continued forever. I didn't even know what direction I was headed in anymore. I could no longer hear my pursuer. I probably lost him by running through the woods like mad. My body was covered in scratches. I finally started to feel the pain somewhere. both cold and hungry. There was no place nearby to take shelter from the rain. I could have done a little panic in the woods. The worst fear was that I could end up heading back towards the orphanage after bolting and losing my sense of direction. I had crushed that man's finger. I didn't think I bit it off, but I was sure it would leave a scar. Taking that into consideration, it was very clear to me what kind of torture awaited me back at the orphanage. Therefore, I'd have to reach the house of love and mercy. Only it had been very tight, and I could have easily found the right way to go. There was nothing I could do. I couldn't stop. I had to keep walking until I reached something. I wondered if Erica and the others had escaped safely. I didn't know how many people came after us. At least one came after me. In other words, it meant they had a better chance. To reach the house of love and mercy. Where they drying themselves with soft towels. And if they still remember me, they say the towels were routine. I felt so cold. I wanted to find shelter and sit down. There was nothing on the floor. I saw a tree that looked like I could take shelter in it, but the branches and leaves were dripping as water. It was then that I realized the sky was gradually getting darker. Would this day end in rain? There were no street lights where I was. Soon enough, it would be totally dark. Then I wouldn't be able to walk any further. I just wanted to sit down. Even if it was raining. If I did sit down, I probably wouldn't be able to stand up again. So I endured. If I hadn't escaped Erico and the others, I wouldn't have had to go through such misery. Compared to what I had to go through the orphanage, this was nothing. Reading about that was the only way to make myself move. But when I thought about that, it's true that this freezing cold rain was far better than my life at the orphanage. But that was only when compared to the life at the orphanage. Was it better than the normal lives of normal kids my age? Didn't even need to think about that. When my parents were alive, although we weren't rich, we led a normal life. Gentle smiles and forgivable selfishness. Sound of my mother cooking breakfast in the morning. Sound of a newspaper being folded. Precious memories like that. I didn't need anything else. I had plenty of friends. I had fun at school. I didn't like my teacher, but I liked studying. I had everything I needed. It was enough for me. Never complained. I never did anything bad. So why was this happening to me? Everything went downhill after that train accident. Die of fate kept rolling on. die never showed its good side to me. The accident was my fault. I could have accepted it. But it wasn't. It wasn't. I wasn't there. I waited for my parents at home. I liked going to the mall with them. We always had a meal in the restaurant at the mall. Always told them to let me know if they were going to the mall. But on that day, they went without me while I went to a friend's house to play. My friend wasn't in, so I went back home. I didn't see anyone at home and found a note that said they were going to the mall. I regretted going to a friend's house. I waited at home. They didn't come home. They were still gone by dinner time. I was getting hungry and got angry with my parents for leaving me. I thought they were having dinner at the mall restaurant without me. If I hadn't gone to a friend's house, I would be eating dinner at the restaurant too. I loved the little flags that came with the kids' meals. I was collecting those flags. Yes, I was. I was trying to collect 20 of them, thinking that once I collected 20, something wonderful would happen.
How to collect 20 Lunar Teeth?
I couldn't collect 20 of them. I only needed one more. If I had one more, maybe the accident wouldn't have happened. A very sad memory of a flag from a kid's meal. I kept waiting for my parents to come home from the mall. I was hungry, so I started to eat some dried fish. If I ate too much, my mother would find out. I was careful not to gorge myself. And the phone rang. I assumed it was from my parents. I answered the phone in an angry manner. But it wasn't them at all. What happened? The house. He had rented it, so maybe somebody else or somebody moved in. What happened to my room? What about my desk and all the flags that were in the right middle drawer?
Takano asked herself. This is not her beautiful wife. This is not her beautiful wife. Letting the days go by.
It wasn't my house anymore. And where was I supposed to go? Even if it remained my house, my parents wouldn't be there to welcome me or protect me. Because I didn't have my parents to protect me, the whole world became so cruel. How could anyone take me away from the house I was used to living in just because my parents were gone? Why didn't they just leave me alone? They asked me many things. Tried to confirm many things. They How could I have understood any of the forms they gave me? I was asked a yes or no question. I had no choice but to answer yes. Before I knew it, I ended up at the orphanage. It was beyond heartless. I didn't do anything wrong. I was just a little girl. I'm so many papers. Why this? The warm and gentle world ended suddenly without advance notice. I was thrown into the cruel and merciless world alone. But this the real world?
It's like the fucking... That's why your mama dead.
Did I have any allies at all? My parents died and I didn't have any relatives. The world had become sad. When is to die going to come up with a 6 instead of a 1 to make up the continuous series of the latter? Oh. We're pouring down the street. Salty taste for the sadness and irritated me. Couldn't do anything but cry. No matter how hard I cried or pitied myself, cold rain wouldn't warm my body or save me. I didn't even know where I was or in which direction I should go. Jericho showed me the map of the House of Love and Mercy when we were planning our escape. We only learned the shortest route. I was completely lost. Strangely, after I finished crying, I felt a groundless strength within my... I once learned that tears wash away particles in the eyes. But there is a different purpose to them too. Tears also wash away what's in the heart. I clenched my fists and forced my feet to move, headed in the direction that I believed to be correct on the gravel road. The rain was still pouring, and it was getting darker and darker. I roared at the sky amidst the rain. Sadness turned into anger. You stupid god! Why? What have I done to deserve this? What did I do? I didn't do anything! I was just living a normal life, that's all! So why this? My daddy told me there are good things and bad things in life, but neither lasts for long. It means this misery won't last that long either, right? Right? I won't be all alone in this miserable place forever. Right? Isn't that right? I looked up. I felt the raindrops hit my face. There is no God. I knew that in my heart. But such disbelief. I believed he was there. I should have been saved. No, I needed him to be there. Was he going to answer me? I heard thunder, and I realized he was there. He was there, he was listening to me. In his eyes, everyone was supposed to be equal. He was listening to me.
I've gone through enough! More than enough! I was too happy before, and I can take this misery. But I wasn't. I was living a normal life. If you asked me if I was happy, then sure I was. This is what I get in return? That's not fair at all!
I heard suddenly. He was listening.
If this fate of mine was your mistake, then let me be free! Please end my misery and let me be happy again! But if this is in fact my fate and I'm supposed to live this way until the end, then I don't want it! Tell me! Tell me now with your lightning! Just finish me off now! Come on! Tell me ruthlessly, right here and now!
I heard thunder again. It was loud enough to make me shiver. Normally I would just hide in the house and wait until the thunder went away. On that day, I wasn't afraid.
Come on! Tell me! Yoko Tanashi is right here! It's like you killed my parents! Take my life too!
Heavens replied from the conversation. Heavens took aim at me, a lowly human who dared to blame constant and intense suspect. That was my wish. I opened my arms. Please God, that he wouldn't miss me. However, I guess even God makes mistakes. Although he's supposed to be fair, he has been unfair with me.
Come on! Kill me! Take me to heaven! If you fail to kill me, then try turning my destiny around!
Pitiful child.
Flesh from heaven. I thought I smelled something burning just before it hit. Sheer force knocked me to the ground. It was a strange experience. It was something that had just happened. It already felt like it happened many years ago. I had no idea how long I was down for. I smelled something odd. Bad stench woke me up. When I looked, I saw that a huge tree behind me had been split open. Its leaves were smoldering. I looked up and saw sparks in the darkness. I couldn't understand what had just happened. I stood there. Thunderbolt had struck. It didn't strike me. It struck the tree behind me. I didn't get to die. It was telling me to keep walking in the woods in the cold rain. I won my bet with God. I bet my life. I bet my life against the lightning and thunder. Could have killed me instantly. He missed. So he had to fix my life. I looked up at the sky. laughing and bragging that I was still alive. I heard thunder again. It was acknowledging its loss. Come on, God. Save me. I want the bet, so save me from this misery. Like that. I waited for God to do something while the rain poured down on me.
And there's nothing else.
That's a pretty scary looking
Oh yeah,
background.
wait a minute, the background's way better, holy shit.
Is that snow?
Oh, what the H?
That's what my dreams look like.
Okay, to be
That's
fair,
what
I'm
most
like
dreams are.
80%
That's snow?
sure that's probably a screenshot from the day that he edited to make it look like it's part of the nighttime.
Yeah,
You mean
he
the
does
after
that.
A lot. It's actually
Some Adam West
scarier.
Batman shit.
But it's like, it's so aesthetically interesting that I really I like it more than the new one.
You can keep it with the sprite, right?
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, I think you can keep the sprite with the background.
Ooh. I already read the line.
Too intense to make. Couldn't hear the thunder anymore. Again, I felt the warm fluid pour down my cheeks. What was I thinking? If there was a God in heaven, he wouldn't have let anything like this happen. A miserable life is the proof of God's non-existence. Darkness was about to swallow me utterly. Did I have to sleep out there? God must have wanted me to die slowly in the cold rain instead of granting me an instant by lightning. I wished the sun would go away. I wished the sun would never rise. I wished that, if the woods had grown completely dark, my existence would be hidden by that darkness. I wished that I could just disappear. Had it been an eternity, or was it a matter of seconds? Couldn't even tell time in such darkness. Then I saw something. Or a light. I noticed it only because the woods were so dark. But was it really there? Had it been there this whole time? I felt like the light inviting me towards it. Was a fluorescent light. I didn't normally like fluorescent lights because I thought they always looked cold. I didn't feel coldness from that white light. I made myself believe that the light was a guide sent by God. I had to believe, otherwise I wouldn't be saved. Light reflected in a puddle. It wasn't a muddy puddle. It was a puddle on asphalt. I had made it out of the woods and was on a paved road. The light was a street light. Being on a paved road really didn't resolve anything. Just a country road. It was a road that went through the woods, but there were no houses, no shops, and not even a single car going by. There weren't too many streetlights on the road, but still very dull. Feet touched the asphalt. felt so different from the gravel I had been walking on earlier. It felt almost merciful. Feet weren't used to walking on gravel. After feeling the softness, that's why I never wanted to go back to the former again. I could only choose between heading left or heading right. I was grateful to God for leading me to this asphalt road, but I wished that he had given me a little more guidance. Such a little bit of luck to make up for all of the unhappiness. And that was when I sensed his guidance. I saw another light in the distance. It was only on the right side. I headed towards it. And when I got there, I understood what it was. I was amazed to find it there. Telephone booth. It would actually make a call in the middle of nowhere. The phone booth in the countryside was rather unusual. There were plenty of public phones all over, but I had always thought telephone booths only existed in big cities. Almost as if those telephone booths were put there as punishment for doing something bad. I thought that I felt bad for the lonely telephone booth. It reminded me of me. And if I was inside a telephone booth, what could I even do in there anyway? I already knew the answer to that question, but no matter what, I just had to get in there. The door squeaked as I opened it. There were lots of moths and other bugs flittering around the light. I usually hated bugs, but in that moment I felt like they were my friends, sheltering from the rain like me. There was no heater. But it was still very warm inside of the booth. It sheltered me from the cold rain. Soon enough, I crumbled to the floor. The warmth from the fluorescent light kissed me gently, and I felt like it was telling me that it was okay to cry. But I had no more tears left, because I cried them all when the lightning struck. Leaking scratches covered my body. My calves were in pain too. Everything hurt everywhere. They didn't want to get up ever again. I wished I could fall asleep. If I did that, staff from the orphanage might find me. The windows on the booth were high up. If I sat down, I wouldn't be invisible from the outside. But as it was the only shelter in these dark woods, staff would be sure to check it. That was why I couldn't stay there for long. Telephone booths from back then weren't completely made of glass, so it was possible to hide inside one. The exhausted spirit understood that I had to move. But I just couldn't make myself. Maybe I was experiencing some kind of vision. I felt a strange calmness that I'd never experienced before. I didn't feel that I was myself. I feel it very strange. I thought that maybe I was killed by that lightning. I'd assumed I was still Miyoko. But maybe it wasn't her at all. I seriously considered those things. And I started to think that the telephone booth had something to do with it. because God led me there. Couldn't have done so just because it was providing shelter from the rain. There had to be something else. I wondered what it was. There'd be something in the booth that could save me. But what? The telephone booth is used to make a phone call. But I didn't have any money. Then I noticed something that looked like copper. My heart skipped a beat. 10-yen coin I saw wasn't there before. I just miss it. I didn't think so. It must have just showed up. In other words, this 10-yen coin was guidance from God. He was telling me to make a call with that coin. But who? There was no telephone book. In that case, I could only call a number I knew. God wanted me to do that then. With only one coin. I could only call one number. I couldn't talk for that long. I had challenged God earlier. It was just a matter of course to think that God was challenging me in return. I had only one chance. He wanted me to test my luck with that chance. I left the phone booth and looked up at the sky. And I yelled in my heart, "We're on, God." I wondered who I could call. Who? My house. Parents were dead and I had no relatives. Nobody would answer. Actually, the phone bill wouldn't have been paid for a long time, so the phone line would already be disconnected. My house was my lost life itself. And the debris of my life. Calling home would simply be an expression of regret, which ran counter to the positive attitude of one trying to change their life. So surely using the coin to call my house was wrong. Which meant I had to cast this 10-yen coin towards my future. Future. My future? What future, anyway? And I heard a huge thunderclap, which cleared my mind. In that clear state of mind, I saw something from the past. It was the last sight of my father. His final moments on the hospital bed. Though suffering from pain, tried to tell me something very important.
If by chance I am to die, turn to Dr. Takano. Dr. Hifumi Takano. Say it for me.
Me? Takano.
That's right. Dr. Hifumi Takano. He's my former teacher. He will help you.
Daddy? 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 Daddy?
Many doctors came into the room in a hurry. Wanted to tell me something else. The doctor stopped him from talking so it wasn't audible. It shouldn't have been, but it was to me. I heard it. I heard it. But I didn't want to hear him say it when I suffered, so I pretended that I didn't hear it. Said it while coughing. I heard it. The word number. All at once. That's right. It was a phone number. I knew nobody would take me because we had no relatives. He told me to get in touch with Dr. Takano. He tried to tell me the phone number. What had I done? I tried so hard using his last chance to tell me the most important thing. Thunder from earlier had made me remember it. The number I couldn't remember even once came out so smoothly. I dialed it in. This really was it. This was the number from my father's teacher, Dr. Takano. My hand stopped just as I tried to put the coin in. What if I hadn't remembered it correctly? Oh, there was no need to hesitate. I had to believe in myself. This had to be the correct number. I had to dial it before I forgot it again. I picked up the phone and put the coin in. Beep. I heard the dial tone on the other end. At that point, I decided to kill myself if it didn't work. I could go back into the woods and wait for another lightning bolt. I could lie down and let the rainwater drown me too. I could also fall asleep in the middle of the road and wait for a car to run me over. I made up my mind and put the coin in. Didn't hesitate any longer. I dialed the number at once. I had to be careful. If you dial quickly, sometimes you can make mistakes. I was getting irritated, and that almost made the phone number go vague in my head. I dialed the last digit and heard some electronic sounds on the other end. I hoped that I dialed the correct number. I didn't know what to say to Dr. Takano if it did connect. Where was I? What was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to ask him? I didn't know any of those things. Your call isn't cheap. 110 yen coin would only buy me short time to talk. The line must have connected then. I heard a ringtone. I only had a short time once someone answered the phone. I thought for a moment that I should put the phone down. Then I could at least get the coin back. I could call back after sorting out my thoughts. But then, someone answered.
Hello. This is the Takano resident.
I felt like I was suffocating. My memory had been correct. Couldn't tell the age of the speaker, but it was a grown man's voice. Anyone who was my father's teacher must have been quite old. Never mind that. I had to hurry and say something. Hurry. Hurry. Are you Dr. Takano? Dr. Hifumi. Takano?
Yes, who is this?
He must have been suspicious. Couldn't blame him. Stranger was asking him about his name. Of course he'd get suspicious. I'm sorry. I'm Tanashi. Miyoko Tanashi.
Tanashi-san? Yes.
My father told me to get in touch with you. His name is Takemitsu Tanashi.
Tanashi. Ah, Tanashi-san! Kun, fuck. I remember him!
His voice suddenly changed. Dr. Takano had remembered his old student. I'm his daughter! He told me to call you.
Something happened to Tanashi-kun?
Not good. I was going to run out of time. My parents died in a train accident, and I was told to call you.
Tanashi-kun is dead? I see. Both of them? Sorry to hear that. I knew him from when I was teaching at college. He's a very hard-working young man. The last time I saw him was at the wedding.
Obviously, he didn't know I was born. But he remembered my father. It was truly a stroke of luck.
So, what did Tanashi-kun want to tell me?
Well... what to say? I was only told to call Dr. Takano. How could I tell him that? Time was running out. I felt more and more anxious by the minute. Phone calls are disconnected without notice. Somehow I sensed it. I only had enough time left for one sentence. I decided to say one sentence filled with all of my hopes.
Help me!
Phone call got disconnected. Maybe he only heard part of what I said. I could only hope he was able to sense my despair. I couldn't hear anything from the receiver anymore. But I actually talked to Dr. Takano. I confirmed that Dr. Takano existed. He existed. He remembered my father. He grieved over his student's death. He would come visit my house. And he would find out I was sent to an orphanage. Then he would come get me. That's when tears flowed down my cheeks again. I thought that my life was hopeless. I never knew that finding even a grain of hope could make me feel so happy and strong. The voice I heard on the phone was so warm and dependable. My father thought about me a long time in that hospital bed. With a name that he could trust his daughter with. He fooled me down. So I could trust Dr. Takano. I had to believe that he would find me. But it might take more than just a few days. I'd have to wait patiently. A few days? A month? More? I could only wait patiently. Either way, I couldn't stay in the telephone box. Staff would easily find me. I went out into the rain again. This time, the rain felt a little warmer than before. I had wished to die by lightning. After that phone call, I was filled with hope of relief. But not know why I felt pain moving in my body. I still wished to die. I didn't feel anything. I had to wait patiently until Dr. Takano came to pick me up. I had to get to the house of love and mercy. It would be the best place to wait for him. Didn't think the orphanage would tell him I escaped to the house of love and mercy. The house wouldn't stop me from calling him. All I'd have to do was call him again and let him know where I was. I didn't know where I could find the house of love and mercy. Couldn't see any signs anywhere. I didn't even know what direction the orphanage I had escaped from was in. Couldn't just stop. I had to walk. I had to find shelter. I had to find someone and ask for directions to the house of love and mercy. I had to keep going, because I finally saw the light at the end of the tunnel. Chills and loving pain tormented me. I couldn't die until I met Papa. I wished a car would come by. If it was someone who lived in the area, I could ask. The police wouldn't do me any good. Sure, the orphanage had already called the police about her escape, and they wouldn't be forgiving. Police were sure to send me back to the orphanage. Either way, I wish that someone would show up. Otherwise, they'd have to keep walking on the asphalt in the darkness forever. How long did I walk? Still no car. I couldn't help but think that maybe the world perished, leaving only me behind. Car showed up. Sensed the car coming up behind me. Oh, I turned around. Saw their headlights approaching me. Thought for a moment. Would I stand in the middle of the street to stop the car? It was so dark. Didn't think the car would notice if I just waved at it. But if I were to stand in the middle of the street, I could get run over. So I thought the car was getting closer and closer. When I made the phone call, I panicked and didn't know what to say. With this car, I'd have to think very carefully. I couldn't think of anything that I should just let the car go. Those thoughts vaguely on my mind, I was incredibly surprised when the car slammed the brakes with a screech and came to a stop. Maybe I wasn't all there after that miraculous experience of lightning striking near me. I half lost my mind in the darkness, so I probably wasn't thinking very straight. Because the car had stopped after recognizing me. In other words, the driver knew who I was. And the only people in the area who would recognize me were... Suddenly, a chill ran through my whole spine. Started to dash away. I heard a voice calling after me. No longer had the strength to run. My feet were trembling and I couldn't make them cooperate. I realized then that I shouldn't have sat down in the telephone booth. That was why I couldn't keep running. I suddenly grabbed from behind, the collar of my clothes almost choking me. The fabric being ripped. I fell in a puddle, and a staff member got on top of me. This time, his finger wasn't in my mouth. All I could do was struggle. What I did so I remembered all the scary stories Eriko and the others told me. The torture the child who was caught had to endure. Drowned ugly punishment, the mashed caterpillar punishment, and this blade pity punishment. Things about eerie-sounding punishments came to my mind. I screamed and struggled with all my might, but it's too late. I was shoved into the back seat of the car. Why couldn't they just let me go? Simple. Didn't want me talking about them to anybody. Staff were yelling and screaming while chasing me, but once we were in the car, they went silent. It's like the Grim Reaper had come to get me. Whether I liked it or not, I had come to terms with the fact that my luck had run out. But I had called Takano-sensei, so I knew he would come to get me. I didn't know when that would be, but I knew it would happen someday. So I wanted to live. I would be saved if I lived. I couldn't even imagine the kind of punishment that was waiting for me. But even so, I said to myself, I have to live. I'd already found the light at the end of the tunnel. All I had to do was endure it until I reached it. The car stopped. We had arrived at the front gate of the orphanage. 2 staff members grabbed my shoulders so I wouldn't run. My shoulders were very skinny, so it hurt a lot. I was scared. Scared of what I would have to go through. We went through the door. I was finally sheltered from the rain. In a way, I wasn't sheltered at all, though. It was the middle of the night and long past time to turn all the lights off. The orphanage should have been quiet. But I heard a noise. A strange noise. Noise of a shower. Noise of metal objects crashing into each other. Also the staffs yelling and screaming. A chill went down my spine. What could I possibly write down to fully describe this fear? Staff member knocked on the door of the storage room. The door opened. The moment it did, an angry roar issued from inside. Sight leapt into my eyes. I had taken the bizarre scene before me. 2 staff members were hitting a mat with bamboo swords while yelling violently. It was Matt, Houston. You know, the one who used to do gymnastics. But why was it rolled up like that? The rolled up mat was by the string and was standing up in the corner. Staff members kept hitting it. Usually, words are said to a person. But why were they yelling at a rolled up mat? The way they were hitting and yelling at it, it was as if they'd gone mad. Wait, I could see something sticking out from the top of the rolled mat. It was... Let me see. Whose shoes were those? All of a sudden I froze and couldn't think anymore. One man stood in front of me. The man's pinky finger was wrapped in bandages. My eyes moved upwards from his pinky finger and met with his. The beast's eyes met mine, peering with intent to devour me. I squeezed out a voiceless scream. My voice didn't come out, but it was more like a goldfish opening its mouth. The beast stuck his little finger in front of me and roared. I couldn't tell if it was a word or a moon shriek, but I was certain it was something abusive. I was scared. I didn't want to die. I wanted to live. I knew that Dr. Takano would show up to save me. That was why I had to live and submit myself to the fear.
I'm
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. With the bandages, grabbed my hair and dragged me along. All I could do was apologize and beg for forgiveness while hoping the beast had even a tiny bit of mercy in him. It was like a broken, apologizing doll. A doll that kept muttering apologies until its key wound down. Like a toy, shedding tears, coughing blood, and apologizing in place of clicking gears. See into the shower room as he dragged me along. The door was open and I heard wailing from the inside. What I saw was very strange. There was a locker on its side in the shower. And outside. The locker was in the shower, sideways. I never even imagined anything like it before. The locker was taking a cold shower while 2 staff members hit it with bamboo swords. It explains the metallic noise I've heard before. Used to sitting there. You see that? I pulled my hair violently and twisted my neck so that I looked in the opposite direction. And I realized I didn't do that to stop me from watching the shower. I did it to make me look at something else. A window in a courtyard. Usually it was too dark to see anything. The lights were on, the courtyard was very bright. Then I saw it. Inside of the hen house. I saw. What is that? And the hair was turquoise. I was too. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't want to die. I know Dr. Takano is coming to visit me. I know he's coming. He was taken to the staff bathroom. Stunk of ammonia. Son, it just doesn't fit in the bathroom. Why was this in the bathroom, I thought? He's not planning to be with. Is he? No way. No.
This is your punishment for breaking the rules. Okay? Everyone must follow the rules. You get punished. Do you understand?
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'll never do it again. I promise I'll do everything you tell me to do. I promise. I really do. Please spare me. Spare me. Please spare me. Oh, that hurts. Oh, no.
I'm sad.
Yeah,
I'm getting a drink.
I never wished for the
Can we go back to abusing Satoko, please?
There we go back.
Can we have a scene where the mountain dogs torture the old staff members?
Can we go back to
What the fuck was Sadako's uncle named again?
Let's go back to the main cast. I would rather deal with
no tips.
I would rather deal with Tepe.
Alright, now I'm just saying.
Yeah.
How familiar? This is actually related to what's just happened. How familiar are you guys with Telltale Batman Season 1?
I am.
Yes.
Not very much.
Because
the LP.
I think, and I would be surprised if Takano doesn't do this, I think she's going to pull a Vicky Vale where she goes back there as an adult and just kills everyone.
I don't
That's
think.
what I
I
think.
would not be surprised either.
I hope they have that scene.
Maybe after she gets the mountain dogs.
That's what I'm saying. I think right after all this, I would not be surprised.
That's gonna be such a great scene if that did happen.
Out of all the people.
Because that's what happens in Telltale Batman. Vicky Vale just goes and fucking horribly kills her adopted parents who
We all
abused
agree
her.
that the censorship of that made it 10 times worse.
Yes, that's how it works.
How would
I don't know. I
you
think
know that?
knowing is worse.
With what
It
weapon?
depends on the situation.
When's the opening coming up?
Shoot them.
Never.
I did.
Fucking no. We just
I
got the
thought we
third
already did
achievement.
it. Oh yeah, we didn't get the anime opening with the
I
animation.
think there's a very specific scene in the anime opening. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't come for a fucking while. Like I looked it up to see if there's anything like specific, but like yeah, there's some shit in there.
I know in the last opening they had the shot of Takano in the rain.
Those two openings ago actually.
Oh.
I can't
wow.
believe I said I want to go back to abusing Satoko, but boy,
Does the
And now
anime
that's on
OP
tape
for this
forever. Way to go, man.
actually have spoilers?
good. Put it in animation.
Yeah, I was gonna say, from what I hear,
I was the Tepe voice. Oh man, the chat can't see this, but boy, in the Discord there sure is a Takano. Holy shit! Ooh, damn.
Technically, it's horny day. National horny day today, guys.
God damn
That
it!
is
We just
some good
were
art.
reading about what could possibly be the darkest thing ever in Higurashi. And you're going on Monkey Wild over there to be horny on Maine.
Yes.
Well, they said
horny
knowing
than
is
this.
worse, but like the censorship makes it imply that.
Man, look at that
she's,
abused girl.
being-
Auga! Auga!
Look at that girl with
I
a
read the
history of abuse.
actual
Anybody
I
out
read
there in the chat,
actual
please
thing
save
that happened to Eriko because he put it in the spoilers, and that's like the censors make it sound worse than what actually happened. Because
I don't know.
it's
Girl getting
still
her
not
eyes
great.
pecked out is pretty bad.
I
Maybe
don't know what I'm
because
talking
they
about.
can't
Go to my
actually
Twitter
say
at
Japanese law.
orange_boy.
I don't know
Remember,
if
Japan has no laws against
sodomy of a child is worse than making them get killed by a rooster.
Wait, I
but-
don't think. Wait, was
No,
she
there isn't any
sodomized?
sodomy.
There
What are you
wasn't
talking
any
about?
I heard it say, "Are they doing XXX with XXX?"
Well, they were
And then
just.
I filled in the
I think they
blank.
were just redacting.
They were redacting.
No,
I
they
don't
said
think there was
is
any
he gonna
sodomy.
XXX me with?
It's making you it's making you think about what's actually.
Also, Noir actually put what
The
happened. to
child
those characters
abuse.
in
The child
manga.
abuse is classified.
A girl got her eyes pecked out.
I read your file. Even the parts of the Oni
Implication
census
is
didn't want me
that
to.
in order to keep his VN, like his rating down.
Sniffle.
Are we good? Are we continuing?
Well, at this point, we need to.
Okay.
How long I've been crying. I don't even know how long I've been comforted like this. My grandfather's hand is on my cheek to comfort me. Holding his hand lovingly, pressing my cheek against it.
Are you okay?
Grandfather put his other hand on my head. The warmth of his palms gradually calmed me down. Piles of documents were all around me. A mistake to sort through data while lying on a fluffy carpet. Must have fallen asleep and had a terrible dream.
If you sleep facing down, the pressure on your cheek makes it easier to have nightmare. It's getting quite late. Why don't you go sleep, Mia?
I'm fine. I took a nap. I'm not sleepy anymore. I'm almost done. So I'm going to finish up, okay?
You have school tomorrow. You should go to sleep, otherwise I get scolded for yawning again.
I've been going to bed late recently. Because of that, I yawn a lot at school. The teacher must have written a note to my grandfather. I'm fine. I'll go to sleep as soon as I'm done. So please, let me finish, okay? Besides, you shouldn't mind me. Go back to your study and continue your article. Day for him to present his findings as approaching. He's been working so hard, devoting himself to his research. Unfortunately, a limit to what an individual can do. He needs a collaborator in order to go further with his research. He has to explain that his investigation could be the key to solving the mysteries of behavior and make people understand just how important his work is. This research is about a very complicated subject. So he couldn't seek assistance from just anyone. Someone will be able to help him one day. Believing that, my grandfather earnestly... Let me reread that one. Believing that, my grandfather earnestly continued his research. I want to help him more. All I can do is sort through his data and tidy up his materials. I also assist him around the house so he can concentrate more on his research. Always tells me how helpful. But that isn't enough for me. I will study hard. Get into a good college. And learn many things. So I can actually be of assistance to his research. I'm a mediocre student right now and I don't particularly like school, but I will do it. I want to help my grandfather. If his heart were to fail and he couldn't continue his research, I wouldn't hesitate to cut open my chest and offer up my heart for him. If he needs lungs, I'll give him my lungs. If any of his organs fail, I'll give him mine. There's nothing strange about those feelings. Perfectly normal ones. If he had found me even a day later, I might not have been alive. Even if I lived, it would either be without my body intact, or with my mind lost to. In other words, I'm alive because my grandfather came to save me. If he hadn't rushed to find me, I wouldn't be here. I won't hesitate to give up my life for him. Moreover, I'd be more than happy to do that. Oh, I want to be with him forever. Humans' lives aren't immortal. Like how my parents died. It happens so suddenly, without any warning. I will never heal from my parents' death. And now that I have my grandfather, I'm not sad. For his existence isn't eternal either. You disappear all of a sudden for any unexpected reason. Just like my parents. Why, I wish to be part of him. That way, no matter what happens, we will be together forever. Forever. I don't want to be alone ever again. I want to be with my grandfather forever. I want to help him forever.
Okay. And be sure to go to sleep after you finish this, okay? Promise? Oh Jesus!
Sorry.
Alright.
Thanks. Like I said, allergies suck.
I thought for half a second there was a sneeze in the VN and you were just really stuck to the bit, so you did it.
No.
For the BitCon, you have to sneeze on.
There's a lot of times where something gets ab-libbed and I'm looking away, I'm like, wait, is that actually in the thing? That's like, no.
No, there was no sneeze in the thing. I'm just having allergy issues.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just playing COD Zombies while I'm listening to it, so I don't actually know what the script is.
What the hell?
Takano sneeze, canon.
Roboot is playing the Phantasy Star.
I'm drawing.
He is.
I'm drawing. I don't know when my boy will show up, so I need to be
Hey, listen, I'm simping for
at
a
full
beat right
stand.
now, so.
Hey, I'm curious, are we gonna do, like, Discord icons next stream? I'm curious if we're doing...
See, the thing
Should
is
we?
That, yeah, I could do it, but I'd also have to turn off all my fucking notifications on every
I mean,
fucking thing ever.
There's a problem with that, Bone, and that's I'm planning to change my profile picture to a greasy cock and balls, so he'd get banned on Twitch.
I don't believe you.
You'd get banned on Discord.
You know it.
It's really annoying. One of my friends was like,
you totally do
what's the big deal? Why can't I make my profile picture boobs? And it's like, Discord doesn't like it.
I'm part of...
Fuck Discord.
I'm in the Studio FOW Discord, and I got a lot of NSFW emotes from that.
One thing, but profile picture.
Yeah, you did.
Is there a difference?
Yeah.
Honestly, though, guys,
General.
guys, is this honestly really the best time to talk about that, though?
I mean, we aren't really like a hyper.
Do you understand that we're doing this so that we don't have to think about child abuse?
You don't like boobs, and yet you exist.
iPhone, Venezuela.
Bottom text 100 billion dead.
It's okay to feel sad sometimes, guys.
We do.
Oh, I did.
We're not wrong.
Oh yeah, I did.
We just got on a tangent.
Someone
It's called a coping mechanism.
I think it's we're just kind of trying to line it up because that was kind of heavy.
I don't know who Proton John is.
Anyways, we should probably.
Yeah, let's get back to it. Oh yeah.
Pinky promised.
Promise.
Yep, I promise.
We Pinky promised after that. We smiled at each other, and my grandfather went back to his study. Dried up tears are making my cheeks itch. I headed to the bathroom to wash my face and brush my teeth. I looked at my face in the mirror. None of my grandfather's features are recognizable on my face. Of course they aren't. Not related. It's definitely two, but I've heard about them. He doesn't seem to want to talk about that subject, so I don't ever ask him about it. I don't care if he has real grandchildren or not. Even if I'm not related to him. I'm a granddaughter of Hifumi Takano. Not just a granddaughter either. I want to be more than that. I don't want a parent and child relationship, nor a lover's relationship, nothing like that. I want more certain lines are souls. Something that not even a tragedy can destroy. I am Miyoko Takano. Fumi Takano's granddaughter. Maybe it should be Mio instead. It's what my grandfather sometimes calls me. I want to succeed Hifumi's spirit. since his name counts one to 3. I want us to share that 3 and be the 4th in his line. My name changes. I wrote that new name in the mirror. Mio Takano. Wonderful name for the new me.
Colonel, sir. Good to see you again.
What's Koizumi?
There was a Koizumi before, wasn't there?
I think so. Was he a cop? Oh yeah, he just said officer.
No, he said.
No, he said colonel.
Colonel.
He said colonel.
Different Koizumi, I guess.
Hey Shelly, do you want to be Koizumi?
Military man.
Yeah, it's my job.
Military man.
Oh, yeah, no, that's Cap's job,
Yeah. Sakura-kun.
Hey, yo.
Come on, no more colonel stuff. No. I was worried when I heard you were ill. You sure look great now. Why are we laughing?
Grandfather always doesn't have any friends. Used to tell me everyone died in the war. That's not true. He has one very close friend. This is him. He's an elderly man my grandfather calls Colonel Koizumi. I don't know exactly where they met, but every time they get together, all they talk about is the military and the war.
Oh shit, Noir's right. This is the dude that gave Takano all that frickin' money earlier.
Oh
Ow.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the wheelchair guy.
Fuck it, he's retroactively a military man.
You never leave. There's no such thing as an ex-marine.
Damn it!
Kind
You know
of.
what I'm thinking of right now?
No, Crimson. The official terminology is former. There's no such thing as an ex-marine. You're always a marine.
You guys are really gonna hate me for bringing up a comparison like this right now.
Heard of the hit,
No, that's the old
Death
time.
Grips album Ex-Military?
Yeah.
No, at least in the US military, it's a faux pas to say ex-marine unless you were dishonorably discharged. As long as you weren't, dishonorably
that's what I
discharged,
meant.
they say former marine.
Orange, you mean the hit album that's not on Spotify?
Yeah.
You guys know.
Death
You
Grips,
guys know who Koizumi
I'm curious what
reminds me.
Kaneko had to say.
You guys know who Koizumi reminds me of right now?
Ooh.
Remember that one dude in the wheelchair with the plaid blanket over his lap from Deadly Premonition?
No.
Oh, you mean the guy in the
Yeah,
wheelchair
that
and died
guy.
from Deadly
Yeah, his
Premonition?
name is like... He's
Yeah, I
like,
remember him.
Doesn't he have like the death mask on him or something?
Gas mask.
I know, but I know
Yep,
it's like a
that
gas mask,
dude.
but I wanted to call it a death mask.
Yeah, the old man who eats the weird sandwiches.
Mr.
Who
Sutton, is
literally
that his name?
confronts, what's his face? In the game.
I just realized that I've never finished Deadly Premonition, so if
Thank
you
you,
guys ever
look,
want to
it's
fucking
Mr. Sutton. It's
force me
Mr.
to
Sutton.
finish that, we can stream that at some point.
And the only
I've
reason
never
I
even played. I've
specifically
never even
remember him
played
is
Deadly
not
Premonition.
because
Is it any good?
I
only
I've
two
tried.
Stewart.
I've tried watching
but
Deadly
only
Premonition,
two-
doing Deadly Premonition. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
only two reasons I remember that dude is because one, literally just thinking of it right now because it reminds me of that and because it's Metal Gear's balls, and two, because he said Matt's line in that same episode where they filmed it.
Okay.
More than you'd think, but less than you'd hope.
So anyways, do we want to keep Cap as Koizumi, or does...
Yeah, kill it.
I am
Sure.
full for it.
Let's go. Anyways, comment your line.
I know, one sec. Yeah.
So I guess that's where they met.
Okay, look at you, Mio-chan. How tall are you now?
Don't creep on me, asshole. We just had a physical checkup the other day, and I think I've grown 2 centimeters.
That's wonderful. Good girl. Make sure you eat well, play a lot, grow big and healthy. I envy you, Takanoko. I'm such a cute granddaughter.
You serious, Reboot?
Oh god.
Yes.
Base.
Apparently, a VTuber he's watching is playing COD Zombies. We're talking about
Wait,
it.
aren't you watching us?
Yo, wait a minute.
I
Why are
mean-
you like? Why are you splitting your attention so much?
I mean, apparently a bunch of us are just doing other shit and listening to it, so...
I mean, I listen to it, but it's like
I mean-
watching another
I'm
thing.
writing.
I'm watching the stream and doing this.
Dashi,
damn it.
haven't you been playing
Yeah,
Halo?
but you're a
and
main
other
character. You kind
No,
of
I
have...
have not.
I once spent the entire session just leveling up the Mac 10 in Cold War multiplayer. I didn't even pay
I'm
attention
saying
that
is,
time.
when you're watching, look, okay? Maybe.
I care.
Video game.
Wait, are you genuinely upset if we do other shit?
Not
No.
really. I was
Not
just,
really.
I mean,
Well, I
I was
get
asking her.
surprised.
Anyways, can we please get on with it?
Yeah. Mr. Koizumi knows that my grandfather and I aren't related, but he always calls me his granddaughter. That makes me very happy, so I poured a little more black tea in his cup. After I finished serving tea, I left with a bow.
So,
I want to
I
stay.
take my coffee black one, man.
I want to stay and listen to them talk, but I guess my grandfather doesn't want me to hear stories of the war, so he always makes me leave. I left before I was told so. Not having to leave doesn't mean I need to go to a different room. And I just headed to the other side of this huge living room instead. Although I'm not right by them, I can still sit on the sofa and listen to their conversation. And if they need something, I can come help them right away. I try to earn points that way to prove I'm useful. Sat on a sofa away from them and started reading an encyclopedia. While doing that, I tried to listen to the conversation.
That's great. The professor said they want to come over on Sunday, the week after next.
Really? Thank you very much, Koizumi-san.
Don't mention it. This just means the report you wrote was that interesting, Takano-kun. They're showing a lot of interest. They even said it's possible this research could receive the Nobel Prize.
A Nobel Prize? That sounds wonderful.
Grandfather laughed. He laughed so cheerfully. Something great must have happened. Koizumi must have shown the society the essay my grandfather was about to announce to engage their reactions. And supposedly they found it extremely interesting. It means they recognize the value of my grandfather's research. It makes me happy too.
Well, what worries me is you'll get infected with the syndrome yourself. Make sure you don't end up clawing out your own throat, okay?
Well, maybe I'm already infected. But Hinamizawa syndrome is harmless if you live a normal life. It was a dangerous disease back when the villagers believed in Oyashiro-sama and bound themselves with strict rules. Those have faded over time. Now people rarely show symptoms unless something major happens.
After that many cases?
A patient's emotional state has a lot to do with how the syndrome develops. As long as they live a normal life, there's nothing to worry about.
So when one is under a lot of pressure, like during the war, the disease gets worse.
That's right. Well, there's nothing to worry about. The subjective symptom of the initial stage is a paranoia akin to then depression. Once you notice it's happening, you can teach yourself to relax emotionally and physically by using my breathing method. You also get at least 9 hours of sleep a night over a 1 week period. That's how you prevent it from worsening. In fact, of all the Hinamizawa soldiers under my direction, not even one died mysteriously.
As he talks, grandfather starts demonstrating the Takano breathing method and a bizarre exercise technique. According to him, this technique relaxes the body and lets blood and lymphatic fluid flow smoothly. As a result, you relax emotionally too. The movements involved in the technique are so weird. I had to look away because my grandfather looked so silly.
Now first you get a grapefruit.
That was the one thing about his research that I felt bad about.
Fuck you, Denton.
Oh. Grandfather asked me to do this exercise too. I don't want to make him sad, so I do it when instructed.
I don't know how to tell you this, Hifumi, but this isn't a medical journal, this is a manga of some kind.
It's true. Have you ever heard of it's called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
That sounds awful.
I like the funny man with the checkerboard hat. He asks people about bread. Oh wait, that's the other guy.
He has some good. He forwards some good questions.
Mr. Takano suddenly started making these sounds. Ooh, as he breathed.
Hey, beep.
Cool.
Explain why one of the strange men who taught you this technique was putting pepper on his sandwich.
I think people do that over here, actually.
Yeah,
all of a
actually they
sudden,
do.
the Hinamizawa started punching frogs.
I'm glad to hear that.
Like smash cut to 5 hours later, where Keiichi's talking about his new revolutionary breathing technique that lets him harness the power of the sun.
You see, if you punch the frog in this way, you can prevent getting Hinamizawa syndrome.
I don't think this will work, Mr. Hifumi.
Satellite yellow. Overdrive.
Alright, change the light bulb. Unfortunately, this was before that.
Alright, he's glad to hear.
I've already read
Change the
that.
light bulb.
I've already read that, but Hideo Noguchi died in the middle of his research. So please be careful, okay? Please ignore my accent slip.
However, Noguchi-sensei's great work is still acknowledged even after his death. As a researcher, I'm sure that was his long-term goal.
Grandfather tells me about Hideo Noguchi often. Born as the son of a poor farmer, but he studied hard and became a doctor. However, he was mistreated because of his background, so he left Japan, moved to the United States. There he made many accomplishments as a researcher. He discovered a vaccine for yellow fever. Grandfather's background is somewhat similar to his. So he often said that all of researchers admired him the most. Hideo Noguchi died in North Africa. He discovered a vaccine for yellow fever. He heard it wasn't effective on yellow fever in North Africa. Went there to research it. Came down with the disease and died. A researcher losing his life for his research. Sometimes that is a test of a researcher's courage. In that sense, Grandfather is very brave to visit Hinamizawa himself to gather information. Himself say he may already be infected. Although my grandfather estimates from ancient texts that Hinamizawa syndrome was only a menace centuries ago, now it's no different from the usual bacteria that share a symbiosis with humans. Many people became ill with the disease during the war, but that was because they were in an extremely abnormal situation. In today's peaceful environment, it's almost impossible for a person to develop symptoms. It sounds very optimistic. He never brought me with him to Hinamizawa, so maybe he isn't as optimistic as that. However, since I live with him, there is a possibility that I'm already infected as well. And I'm not worried at all. Because my grandfather has taught me that as long as I maintain myself physically and emotionally, I won't develop any symptoms. I know all about the horrible terminal symptoms of Hinamizawa syndrome, but I'm not overly fearful of them. Grandfather is enjoying his conversation with Mr. Koizumi. That's understandable. Mr. Koizumi told him some people showed great interest in his report. Even want to come over on Sunday, week after next, to meet and talk to him directly.
What the girl just said in narration.
The rapid advance of modern medicine and explored frontiers are steadily dwindling. Was it possible the Hinamizawa syndrome my grandfather discovered might be a new continent in the field? It will be decided in 2 weeks. It sounds like there will be more than one person coming. It also sounds like they're all important people in the society. All rich and famous, yet they aren't satisfied with just that. They all want to be involved with something that's worth an international award. This is a chance to gain acceptance, insistence, and sponsorship at the same time.
I'll see you in 2 weeks. I'll make sure it'll be there. Be here, whatever. Good luck.
Thank you very much. I owe you everything.
It's too early to say that. Let's wait until you find some sponsors. When that time comes, toast with that treasured wine of yours.
That was the last of their conversation. My grandfather kept his head bowed until Mr. Koizumi was gone. It sounded like he set up this great chance for my grandfather. So I bowed my head just like him.
Did you hear that? Finally, there's a chance for me. There are people who are interested in my report.
I know, I heard! Now you'll have people to fund you and people to help with your research.
Well, that's not set in stone yet.
Although he didn't want to admit it, he had a good feeling about it. Research he had conducted all along was finally about to gain recognition.
Sunday, the week after next?
Quite! I'll be busy. The first impression depends on my presentation. I have to rearrange my data. No, I probably should practice explaining things in front of people. Anyway, I have to make sure I don't forget anything.
Boy, it'll be a lot of work to rearrange your data. Your handwriting is bad, so maybe you should write bigger.
Anyway, I'll be busy. The next 2 weeks will go by fast.
You're right. I'll help you too. All the formalin jars have to be dusted. Also, we'll need to straighten our rolled up documents. You think leaving them laid out under the rug overnight would fit?
We'll have plenty of things to do. Mio, could you help me?
Of course. I'll skip school for it.
No, you can't miss school.
Damn it. We laughed together, thrust our fists, motivated ourselves to work hard toward the week after next. Since that day, my grandfather spent more time in his study. It's not easy to create a report that you're going to show other people. Typing machines hadn't been invented back then. So everything had to be handwritten. He knows it's somewhere, but he just can't remember where he put the data he needs. As for me, I have to make sure I have enough guest cups to serve tea, so I'm counting on them. Do I have enough tea leaves? Maybe I should get something to go with. My father knows nothing about these things. There's a whole list of chores to do. We need to clean the windows so the room will be bright. What else? 2 weeks pass quickly while we busy ourselves getting things done. A wonderful 2 weeks ahead. I can actually feel that I'm actually doing something to help my grandfather with his research. I hope the day of the meeting will be a memorable one for my grandfather. I hope that day will be a beautiful and clear one. Just as I wished, the day is beautiful.
Everything was on fire, though, for some reason.
Evening. My grandfather, having dressed formally, paced around his study nervously. I'm also in a beautiful dress, and I've worn it only once before at my piano recital. I'm not nervous like my grandfather. Silly nervousness actually relaxes me. They here yet. Grandfather looked out the window. And a black car stopped in front of the gate. Back then, a car was a luxury item. I don't think I even had one classmate whose family owned a car. So it only makes sense that the men coming out of the car look respectable. Grandfather and I ran out to welcome him.
Welcome! I'm Takano. Thank you for coming today.
May I take your jacket? I greeted them and filled the role we decided ahead of time. While my being relaxed by my grandfather's silliness ended at the point. Both my grandfather and I were stiff with anxiety as we greeted them now that the moment was here.
Random bureaucrat.
Nice to meet you, Doctor. And hello, young lady. Are you his granddaughter?
Yes. Mio, please say hello.
Very nice to meet you. Mio Takano.
What a good girl. I'm here in place of Koizumi-sensei.
Wait, this isn't one of the bureaucrats from before, is it?
Different bureaucrats. This is like
Alright.
this is like years in advance.
Okay, that's what I
That's
thought.
not my role then. Yeah.
Yeah, my chronology got a bit weird. Anyway,
I'm here in place of Koizumi-sensei. Something came up and he can't make it today. He's very sorry.
I see. I'm sorry to hear that.
The person who set everything up isn't here. My grandfather even had his treasured wine ready just as they promised 2 weeks ago.
Everyone, let me introduce you. This is Dr. Hifumi Takano. Dr. Takano was a leading member of the Research Center for the Prevention of Epidemics in Manchuria during the war. He made many advances in developing synthetic food and synthetic alcohol as measures against malnutrition and ration shortages. Nice to meet you.
These are different bureaucrats.
Pleasure to meet you.
Thank you for having me.
He has a bureaucrat that sounds like Kermit and one that sounds like Nappa.
Yeah, why is he Nappa?
I wanted to get one of my Nappas out.
Men are even older than my grandfather, and one is surprisingly covered in mucus. They take off their hats one at a time to greet him. Their beards, expensive-looking canes, and glasses tell me they're very high up in the society. And father bows to each one of them.
Everyone, please come into the study. Please excuse the mess. Come in, come in.
Wait, can I do a bit quickly?
Sure.
Kermit, what does the scouter say about his power level?
It's over 9,000! Yeah!
Thank you.
Alright. Mio, serve tea for everyone.
Yes.
I think AC said BRB.
Well, okay, we can keep going.
I wasn't
Okay.
nervous at all earlier. Now I think I'm the most nervous one. I'm not the one making the presentation, and I'm not the one being evaluated, so it's ridiculous that I'm feeling so nervous. I don't know if I should use that as an excuse. I was so nervous that I knocked over the thermos I had filled the brim with hot water and ruined the black tea I'd chosen specifically for this day. I apologized to my grandfather and started to boil water again. I just needed enough for the guests. By the time I had cups of tea and cookies ready, grandfather's presentation was at its key part.
It pierces the blood or lymph vessels and spreads to the spinal cord. There it transfers along the cerebrospinal fluid to the brain. I've confirmed many cases of encephalitis after autopsies.
There you go.
Eosinophilic
meningoencephalitis.
Meningoencephalitis is known to be caused by roundworm. Your predicted behavior will be extremely similar.
Grandfather said, walking between samples in formalin jars as pointing to several as he gave his explanation. There are over 100 formalin jars in here with parts of brains and...
Where did he get them? Where did he get
Oh,
the
no.
brain chunks?
Don't think about it.
Probably like from the war. I mean, a
was
lot of
about
people
to-
played
Don't
the
think
brain
about it.
after the war.
I was about to type brains in jars as a joke.
I was actually going to make a comment about roundworms. They do actually cure allergies.
Answer is don't think about it.
Oh Christ. Alright, let's keep going.
We're all very dusty, so I spent a few days cleaning them. I'm proud to see the sparkling jars all lined up like this.
However, roundworms induce an extremely wide range of symptoms. A headache, narcosis, and derangement. None of them are charismatic symptoms of roundworms. Characteristic symptoms of roundworms, fuck. On the other hand, symptoms of Higurashi syndrome are all very specific to that disease. Oh crap.
You're saying one of them is to claw out one's own throat, yes?
Exactly! Some soldiers witnessed it before just before their fellows died. Such self-mutilation was never seen before in any disease. It only occurs in Higurashi syndrome. Also, since that symptom was only seen with terminal stage patients, I believe that's a means of exodus, something we've seen before in several parasites. Parasites mature inside of an organism, reproduce, and they leave the host and look for the next one.
So what do you think about the fact that the cases were only seen in the soldiers from Higurashi, even though other soldiers touched their blood, which must have been full of parasitic eggs or larvae? Don't you think there's a possibility of them getting infected?
I suspect of things like an incubation period, since it was limited to people from the Higurashi region. I believe something such as a unique locale climate must play a role. I'll talk about that in the next part. But the ancient indigenous beliefs of Higurashi have...
That can't possibly that can't be possible, Dr. Takano. I've never heard of parasites behaving socially.
Yes, well, that is one of the revolutionary discoveries in the Higurashi syndrome.
Elderly gentlemen mumbled to each other while pointing at the data. That I finally realized things aren't going too well.
Dr. Takano, I've been reviewing your research, or your data, while listening to your gracious presentation. First of all, it is simply impossible for parasites to control human minds. Human thoughts are controlled by the brain, which is a work of art created by God.
Logical fallacy! You're indicting God into the power of science!
Furthermore, ideology is extremely advanced aspect of human thought. It's an advanced capacity bestowed only to humans on this planet. Yet you would say parasites intervene in that? Please, that's absurd.
I agree. Ideology can also be considered a manner of thought that prioritizes the whole over the individual. In other words, it's the most important prerequisite condition for a society. There's no way parasites be gifted with that, when their only demand is to pass on their genes. In the field of biology, there has never once been a discovery of sociality or eusociality within parasites.
What do you tell your Muppet friends?
But there are cases of parasites interfering with the host's behavior.
You're misunderstanding one thing, Dr. Takano. The principle that drives parasites capable of controlling their host is always reproduction and propagation. It is only that primitive concept. Even in the example used before of a rat infected with Toxoplasma gondii?
Yeah.
Like, get it?
Gondii.
Gondii, losing its aversion to cats. The altered behavior is simply a means to let the host be eaten by a better host in order to change hosts. That's just like a grasshopper infected with a horsehair worm drowning itself. Once a horsehair worm matures, it becomes aquatic. When that happens, it guides the grasshopper to the water and drowns it, but enters the environment it's adapted for.
Exactly. Suicidal act of clawing out one's throat corresponds to that in the case of Hinamizawa syndrome. For example, guinea worms asphyxiate the body by having the host scratch the affected area.
Wait, you want me to do it?
Indeed, the purpose of all these parasites is reproduction. For them to infest the brain, God's masterpiece.
Oh.
No, infecting the brain itself isn't that strange. But to say they infest it and influence human ideology is frankly delusional. In fact, that's a dangerous idea.
I don't think that it's that strange that Hinamizawa, an isolated culture, developed its own unique faith. There are actually many examples of that all over Japan. So you're saying that all of them are due to parasites? Or that they were all due to cultural reasons? Except the one in Hinamizawa, which was caused by parasites. How do you establish the distinction?
As I said in my autopsies on the Hinamizawan soldiers who died in the war, there was sufficient evidence to believe...
Excuse me, Dr. Takano. I don't think you've gathered enough case studies to call it clinical data. Furthermore, as you said, it was during the war. It's over.
I mean... As I explain in the next part, Hinamizawa syndrome develops when one experiences suspicion, nervousness, and stress, and becomes emotionally unbalanced.
I think it's a unique approach to suspect some manner of commonality if there were several cases of unique and bizarre self-mutilation, such as clawing one's throat out. Yet, that's all the more reason it's unreliable. Maybe if it was just a coincidence, such rare cases happen under abnormal circumstances like the war. I believe you witnessed the convergence of coincidences entrapped in a gestaltist view, deluded yourself into finding a pattern.
To prove otherwise...
You can go.
To prove otherwise, you would need an enormous amount of clinical data on Hinamizawa syndrome patients. But ethically, that's impossible to prove. The natives' act of recognizing it as a curse suggests it's more within the realm of a culture-bound syndromes. And you think that it's a delusional parasitic disease? Kermit, please take over. My voice is getting ravaged.
Okay, I hate to say this, but I think you admire the beliefs of the Hinamizawans a little too much. And as a result, you yourself have been taken in by their culture-bound reactive syndrome. Actually, that happens quite often with people who research more unusual fields of study. We're trying to be careful ourselves.
The more they talk, the paler my grandfather's face becomes. I was just stunned myself. I've never heard of parasites like that. It's impossible. It's just a coincidence that there isn't enough data. It goes on, and every time grandfather says something, they dismiss it like that. Or he knew it, my grandfather could only hold his silence before their criticisms.
Well, no revolutionary discovery is accepted at first. Maybe this research of yours is one of those things.
It sounds like you said that with air quotes.
I think I was trying to. Yeah, probably.
But no, that's good. Well, no.
That was subconscious.
Maybe this.
I wasn't even trying to do air quotes. Like that was completely subconscious. Even if it's ridiculed at first, it may achieve recognition in later years. That happens all the time.
I'm just an amateur. I'm just a private researcher who didn't graduate from an elite college. Nor do I belong to any academic clique. I don't have any connection with experts or research centers. That's why this is all I can do. Is the Hinamizawa syndrome real? Or is it just my delusion like you all say it is? Find out. I need your help.
Of course, this was the discovery of the century, it would create a major uproar. After all, you've suggested that human culture and ideology is all the will of parasites, and our frontal lobe is a place for them to live. What an audacious theory!
Oh, sorry. Now you go.
Yeah, okay.
My voice can only handle so much.
If a link between the existence of the Hinamizawa syndrome and the disease carrier's belief in Oyashiro-sama could be established, then it would be as possible to explain all religions, no, all cultural divides on Earth.
What a magnificent and unique idea. Dr. Takano, instead of showing people like us your essays in secret, you should publish a book about it for the general public. Just write some fiction.
His fists trembling a little. Your words were far too cruel. I don't know anything about academics. Just a little girl. Don't know exactly what they're talking about. Grandfather worked so hard by himself until today. To prove his research and delve further into it, he needs sponsors. Those sponsors are casting him away, calling his research a delusion. It's outrageous. Like asking which came first, the chicken or the egg. Besides, if his research was at the level those Chigi men wanted to see, he wouldn't need their help. They're saying that they can't help him. He sees some results that are beyond the level of private research. In any field, doesn't research always start out with just a little idea? If you can prove its existence beforehand, then what's the point of researching it to begin with? A wild idea can't be the subject of research. How did we gain any knowledge at all? We never mind that. Mr. Koizumi came 2 weeks ago. Didn't he say they were really interested in his research? Going on of what he said.
Current bureaucrats.
I guess I'll do it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, who was the current ones? It was AC, Shelley, and who?
I mean, I said you should write a book about it, so I guess I'll do this one. Yes. I think this is very interesting research. The human brain still holds many secrets. Dr. Takano... Oh, wait, I think that's... You gotta do that one.
I think it's the ACs.
Is AC here?
Wait, I was gonna say, I thought I gave it up because it sounded too close to Okanogi, but alright.
You can do
Go ahead.
Dr. Takano's idea is an extremely unique one. It seems impossible to ignore, especially from the eugenics perspective. Humans... Wait, am I going?
I mean, I was actually gonna give it to Orange.
Okay, I guess I can do a bureaucrat. Humans are not God's children. We're simply animals who underwent the baptism of evolution. As such, according to Darwin, there will be differences in the evolution based on environment. In other words, humans can either be either superior or inferior. As a nation, we must think how we can maintain good bloodlines and how we can leave good genes behind. If we
This
do
is
not
all
raise...
getting recorded.
I know it is. If we do not raise that as a national policy and research toward it, then by the next century, mankind may fall to a fatal position on the hierarchy.
It's Metal Gear shit.
I know, that's why I'm doing Skullface. You
Dr.
hope that
Takano-
hatred.
Wait, should I do
You
this one?
can go, yeah.
Dr. Takano's research has the potential of encompassing more than just parasitic diseases. If the evil inferior humans, we should. Oh my god, I'm doing eugenics.
Jesus Christ.
What? Can I say
If the evil
Dude,
inferior
Shelly,
humans.
can you do more sinister?
I feel like
Do I have to
I
bring
can
out
do
the
that.
evil narration
I've been
again?
doing
I mean,
God damn it,
no,
here
no, no.
Jesus fucking
I'm
Christ, I wasn't
traveled into-
expecting this.
I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying, if you don't want to talk eugenics, I will take your place.
I can do it. I
Here,
just wasn't
I
sure if I
feel
could.
like
my
there's an
God.
accent on it. Like,
My Nazi
how
voice will
y'all
have to
talk
wait.
about eugenics. Like,
My
Alright,
Nazi-
here we go. All right, I'm gonna do
Yeah,
it.
do more
If
sinister.
evil, inferior humans we shouldn't let breed can actually be explained by a disease instead of genetics, then it becomes possible to correct their behaviors through surgery. As a result, we could leave wonderful people for our future. From a eugenic point of research, they just say it. Okay, from the eugenic point of view,
Wow.
Dr. Takano's research
Jesus.
should get started immediately. It's possible this could be the greatest discovery since Moni's invention of the lobotomy.
Speaking
Good
of
lord.
Oh my god, all of
We've-
the outdated
we've come
scientific
full
theories.
circle. We're talking about lobotomies again.
I really should have done this one with a Nazi voice. I'm sorry.
I already explained a lobotomy.
don't worry, guys. I got the cross. Does anyone got the lighter?
Fucking
Oh, man, it's so much
Racism!
Started with a funny little thing about friendship and why it's important to trust your friends.
Eugenics!
Eugenics and nationalism.
Alright, wait.
remember when Kay, she was
Hey,
talking
Rika, you
about
want to go to the
friends.
fucking funny haha times? Oh no, we're being murdered. Meanwhile, in the background. So how about we talk about eugenics?
Yeah, remember when part 1 we were talking about, man, this is really slow. This is a lot of
Awesome.
slice of life. This is like, and now, oh,
It's
Let
like,
me talk to
okay,
you about
there it is.
Lebensraum.
we've talked about enough eugenics. Can we get to the slice of life?
Everything
I was
east
more
of
like,
this
I'm done with
border,
nationalism until we get to the child abuse.
everything
Oh, God.
east of
Oh,
this
God, go back.
border is
Go back to
viable
the-
as living space. So,
yeah.
what we do is we just get rid of the current residents. That's up to you, and we
Okay,
give
you
that
know
to the
what?
Germans.
AC, we're sacrificing you so Cap can do his Nazi.
wait,
voice.
shouldn't we do Shelly because?
No.
I'm sorry. I do not
We have to do it for the greater good.
Wait, explain
greater
yourself.
good.
Do you want me to finish it, or?
Give me the
Oh,
explanation
yeah,
so
okay.
I can die with closure.
Yeah. Chelly, go, please.
Well, if causality between infectious diseases and an individual's nature could be established, this would be more than Nobel Prize worthy.
Okay, now you can go, Cap.
Koizumi Sensei, thank you for giving us this chance. And I know I've got a swap.
That's right. This is
Takano-
modern. Oh yeah, you can go.
I don't care. I'll
Yeah,
do
fuck
both.
it, just go.
Takano-kun is a single-minded and passionate man. But he's not good at dealing with people. He's been working on his research all by himself. But now he's hit with the limit of what one person can do, and he needs help. Please, everyone, give a listen to what Takano-kun has to say. Oh, you don't even need to ask, Sensei. We are the ones who should be thanking you for this opportunity.
We're already willing to help him. In fact, the more urgent matter will be arranging jurisdictions within society. I'd like to thank you for giving me an opportunity to be involved. Such a unique research project at this age.
Hold on, guys. This is actually what Koizumi's talking to the bureaucrats before he's actually going. They go and talk to him.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Oh, yeah, so, okay, we were wrong on the timeline thing, but whatever. I don't really care.
Yeah, this is in
Wait, is
the
this-
past, not the future.
Fucking Jesus, this is really
There was a knock on the
weird.
door.
Still the
The
past.
sliding door opened and the owner peeked in.
Yeah, Takano's like still a kid right now, right?
Excuse me.
Mio, Takano.
There's someone asking for you. May I bring him in?
Someone? Who could it be?
Or mother.
So true, Queen.
I like to imagine that everybody
That's
became significantly more evil the second they left, so they changed their goofy voices into being fucking mustache-twirling villains.
I like to think he has an eye patch and the
That's how I was able
he's just like, wait, you guys are Nazis and I were not.
Fucking Death's Head, goddammit.
Yeah, that's
I don't like I'm destined. I am a happy man.
Again.
Call me
Alright, whispering in the
Totem.
Koizumi's ear.
My face
Yona
turned
whispered in
pale.
Koizumi's ear, and his face turned pale all of a sudden.
Please, let him in. No. I'll come greet him with you.
As Koizumi stood up, 2 pairs of footsteps reached the door.
Sensei! I didn't expect you to be here.
Elder Evil.
Koizumi-kun! Long time no see. I have something to tell you today.
Yes. If you need to tell me something, I'm all ears. Please, go ahead.
The old man known as Koizumi was not someone whose status could be taken lightly. Although he had retired, he was still powerful enough to wield great influence as a fixer. From his meek attitude, it was easy to figure out what kind of person this man must be. The old man held onto his bodyguard's shoulder as he walked, an expensive-looking cane in his other hand. He couldn't even walk on his own because of his old age, but his intense, commanding presence hasn't declined one bit.
I'll get straight to the point. Your friend's research. You need to put a stop to that.
Huh? What do you mean?
Koizumi-kun.
Oh god, it's just Big Boss.
He must take his knowledge of the Hinamizawa syndrome to his grave. Nobody should touch it. If anybody looks into it, well, if you poke a bush, a snake will come out. A big, fat snake, too.
I already went to the bathroom today.
It would pain me just to watch you get swallowed by it.
Oh, that's the fucking. That's where the drip thing came from.
What?
Yeah, remember the picture? The picture of Koizumi Drip? He was holding a gun and telling him to stop researching it.
Oh.
Oh, it's from the manga.
Oh, we've really come full circle now.
Oh, that's why he was so young in that picture.
Oh, right! Oh, wow, boy, is there egg on our faces.
Man, the fucking chronology of what's going on is getting lost on me.
Well, I mean, like, Mio's obviously like a fucking child at this point, right?
Baby, alright.
Baby.
Oh yeah, she's so drunk.
Okay, I will do the full rap song if you want me to. But
All you need to know. What? Why stop? Why are you talking about Tsuchinoko? No one can see that.
Tsuchinoko.
Oh, I said the line.
Oh, Jesus.
It's very real.
That's why I'm here, to give you some advice. Can your friends wait a little? So, how about it? Do you want to have some drinks with me in a different room?
Yes. I'll come with you straight away.
Koizumi realized that he was being pressured. He didn't know which direction he was coming from, but clearly some authorities weren't comfortable with the research on Hinamizawa syndrome. They were trying to stop him from supporting it.
May I get a look at his skull after death when you're done?
Oh no.
I swear to God.
Now these bureaucrats are very interesting men. They came all the way from Argentina to see you.
Oh God.
Oh my fucking god! We're just going hard.
Did you?
I wasn't paying attention.
Did you know when you walk into? Did you know when you walk into the bureaucrats' offices and if you stomp your foot and raise your hand, they will all get out of their chairs and raise their hand too. It's weird.
You just stop and you just see people do that, and you're like, oh fuck.
Reason why they're after me, I may or may not have fed them a little white lie about immortality.
Now talking about the German accent.
They actually fell for it.
Like discompete.
You cheeky dick waffle.
What in God's name are you talking about?
You don't get the reference.
No, I probably don't.
It's Hellsing Ultimate Abridged, man.
I did not watch that Abridged series.
Oh, it's good. Oh, it's good.
God, you have
I actually want to
5
watch.
hours of heaven ahead of you.
I want to watch the actual Hellsing at some point.
Okay, that's good. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
I need to finish it. I need to finish it.
Guys,
I actually watched Hellsing Ultimate Abridged first.
Okay.
I feel like, yeah.
Funny little elder man is talking about the Marco Polo Bridge incident.
Koizumi-kun, you remember the Marco Polo Bridge incident?
Oh god, fucking
Okay,
damn it. No!
Are they gonna skip the explanation? Yes!
Yeah!
Base,
Victory!
he's learning!
Yes! Royale!
This is utter nonsense. We came here today expecting to hear a more objective side. Normally we wouldn't come all the way here for something like this, but since Koizumi-sensei asked us, we didn't have a choice.
This really was
This
a waste
is
of
really
time. But in a way, it was a good thing we came. We were able to give you some advice. You should take out Bonsai instead of wasting the rest of your life on this. Bonsai is great! Yay!
I agree!
Wait, this is the other three.
Yeah, they're the same ones. They just don't have the evil voices right now.
Oh, okay, wait. So
Yeah, I'm not gonna do like the evil, like getting off on eugenics voice for him.
Sorry, Cap. We will bring back the Nazi bureaucrat at some point.
No. I agree. It's not healthy just to stare at formalin jars in a study. But it sure,
oh, go ahead. Go ahead. It sounds like it was continuing off of you.
yeah, but it sure is a unique subject. If you want, I'll introduce you to the chief of a publishing company. The general public love things like this, you know? They aren't even trying to hide their hostility.
Oh wait, this is Takano.
Oh.
Trying to hide their hostility. Laughing at my grandfather, denouncing him, and saying things to degenerate not only his research but his personality as well. Simply trying to provoke him. Any response would be just be giving them what they want. Even in this very moment, grandfather tried to remain a noble researcher and a proud human being. He's no longer trembling. On the contrary, apologized to them for taking up their time and told them he had no intention of keeping them any longer.
We'll give this article back to you. Though it'd be so much easier if we could actually call it an article.
One of the elderly gentlemen tossed it back to him. Grandfather couldn't catch it in time. The article he worked so hard on fell onto the floor, paper scattered all over the carpet. The elderly gentleman studied without even apologizing for it. Everyone else followed suit.
Oh.
As they left, he trod all over my grandfather's article. It looked like grandfather's expression didn't change. I could see it warping. My throat made a weird little noise. It burned me. Sorry about that. I could see the wall of research grandfather bore crunching and warping sadly. Jumped. Grabbed onto the elderly gentleman's leg. Don't hate him. If I were asked if I hate him or not, the answer would be yes, but that's not the point here. I can't stand his foot stepping all over my grandfather's article.
Don't step on it! Don't step on it! Grandpa worked so hard on it! Don't step on it!
I step on what I want, Fräulein!
How about you go fuck your German whore wife?
Nein!
Right. Your wife would be too good for you. Maybe her sister.
Steppy. Big Steppy.
just want to move the foot that's standing on his papers. The foot doesn't move. No matter how hard I push or pull, if it's rooted to the floor. I felt someone grabbing me from behind. It's my grandfather.
Please excuse my granddaughter. Don't worry about this. Wait up.
Don't!
Please excuse my dope-ass swag.
Don't step on them! I'm telling you, do not step on my grandpa's article. Screams don't mean a thing to them. Completely ignored my screams. Continued to step on the papers and left the study. Only my grandfather and I remain. Grandfather is still grabbing the back of my collar. I don't have any words left to say. Only cries. Grandfather is determined not to show any emotion. He doesn't even open his mouth. So I have to cry for him. Just then my grandfather slapped me in the face.
What?
Startled me. I'm crying for him. Why did he slap me? And I understand. Grandfather is the one who wants to cry. He's enduring. So I shouldn't cry either. I wiped my eyes and my nose. I silently turned my eyes to the papers on the carpet, just like my grandmother.
Sorry.
I don't understand why he's apologizing.
I do.
I thought he was going to complain about the rudeness.
If I had worked harder, this wouldn't have happened. Until today, you helped me so much. And it was all for nothing. Sorry about that.
How courageous he is. Even after that disaster, he's still concerned about me. I shook my head and put my hands on the floor. I tried to gather up the papers, but then began to fall. Tears are overflowing again, blurring the ink on the papers. These are all handwritten by grandfather. He was so happy. Finally, there was someone who understood his research. So happy. He spent all night writing these. They stepped on them. Might as well have stepped on my grandfather's very soul.
I didn't work hard enough. If I had done more, this wouldn't have happened. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll work even harder. I won't give up until it gets something like this.
I don't know if he's saying that to me or to himself.
Don't worry. God is watching. I have to believe that I'll gain recognition. That day will come. That's why I have to keep working harder.
Grandfather says that all the time. I know the truth. God only plays with people's faith. He doesn't save anyone out of goodwill. That's why he let this happen to my grandfather, even though he's worked so hard and so humbly until today. That's why he let such a horrible thing happen to me when I was still an innocent little girl. Grandfather keeps repeating himself. I know the truth. God exists. The existence grandfather believes in is real. There's no mercy to surrounding God. He delivers unreasonable fates, makes us call it a challenge. can't tell my grandfather that. Asked God once more. Did but didn't understood. Why can't you give my grandfather's efforts and hard work the recognition it deserves? My father told me that he'll gather up the papers. I should just put away the teacups. He nodded silently. That hadn't even been touched onto the ceiling. Stood out of the study. My father told me to close the door after I leave. I always close the door when I leave. He doesn't need to find me. That's what he wants. So without saying anything, I closed the door. As I walked away from the study, I heard my grandfather. Tears filled my eyes once more. Sadness and disappointment. I almost feel angry with myself for not being able to do anything for him. I felt a cool breeze on my wet cheeks. The breeze was blowing in from a cracked open window. The curtain was flapping gently and I heard the cry of the Higurashi. As I listened to them, calmed down gradually. If I can ease grandfather's pain by crying, I'll cry in his place. That won't help. On the contrary, he started to cry because I did. I'm being useless here. I remember that day. Remember the reason why I'm alive now. If he hadn't come and saved me, I would have spent the last days of my life lying in the corner of the bathroom as a human-shaped piece of meat. Grandfather saved me. Gave me back my rights. Right to walk. Right to stand up, to wear clothes, right to eat, right to speak, and the right to think. In other words, right to live as a human being. Grandfather took action right after he got the phone call from me. He found my house. He found out which orphanage I was sent to. After struggling through the sloppily filed records of the public office, he saved me. Of course, he was working on his research then. His present research time on saving me, a perfect stranger, found that if his heart failed, I'd rip my heart out and give it to him. Of course, his heart is fine. He doesn't need a heart. He needs something that's equally important. Something only I can give him in this whole world. I clenched my fists and held them so tightly. Nails left marks. I now know what I'm supposed to do. This new life is Mio Takano. Finally, know the reason why the new me was born. I know the purpose of Mio Takano. Fulfill a wish and leave a desired future. Strength of a string is how strong your will is. And strong wish will come true. But I knew of my grandfather's greatness, but I actually didn't know the half of it. To be able to really help him, I have to reach his level. my lessons lead back to my grandfather. There wasn't a single subject I could ignore. Now studying hard is what I can do for him.
I've been a teacher for a long time, but I've never seen such a hard-working student. I've learned a lot not only academically, but socially as well. You made a great deal of friends.
I have a goal which I can only reach by studying hard. Also, I know how powerless an isolated genius is. That's why I needed to learn to socialize. It's not enough. I'm not even close to where I want to be. Entering college is only a step forward. What matters is what I learn there. I'm not even close. Being able to help my grandfather.
I'm so proud of you. You can go to Tokyo or Ochanomizu University, or any college of your choice. Ochanomizu. Yeah. Nothing will stop you. The most important thing for you is that the school will teach you what you want to learn.
Big decision that inhabits a tiny stone. Our life is heavier than the earth. My decision is heavier than the earth. Have what I need to be able to truly understand Hinamizawa syndrome and help my grandfather in his research. Don't need compromises or excuses. The heights I seek are lofty, precipitous. This isn't enough. Not even close. Classmates are such idiots, acting as if they're the winners in life just because they entered this school. College is simply a place to learn what I need to know. Self-proclaimed best school isn't worth my time. I'm not interested.
I didn't expect such a talented woman like you to end up in at this parasite research center. Wait, I'm gonna try a different voice. I'm sure everyone wanted you, huh? I assumed you were interested in something bigger.
I want to study and research parasites. I worked hard to earn the right to study here, and I qualify to learn.
Yes, of course. There's no reason why we would refuse someone who get top score on the entrance exams. Welcome to the Parasite Research Center. People usually aren't that interested in our field. There aren't too many researchers who study it. That's why there's still a lot of unknown elements compared to the other fields.
It's quite true. The study of parasites is a mysterious work. Rather, it's an ignorant one. The ignorant world where the perception that parasites can't possibly control humans pervades. Those ignorant people laughed at Grandfather and stepped all over his article. There are still many unsolved mysteries in the world of parasites. I'm here to solve them. I came here to help the people who want to help them. A wish that's guaranteed to come true is not called a wish. It is fate, not a wish. And we fate. Fate is an absolute power to control people in the world, not just an individual. Learning isn't enough for me. I have to be able to research with my grandfather. So, don't ignore the means of getting the help my grandfather couldn't get. My grandfather's research isn't complete just when it's finished being written on the desk. We need the help of plenty of people to present it to the world, so his great work will be praised by many.
Nora, do you want to go?
Wants to be the coordinator.
I could do it. That's correct. This is an association only the top graduates of the Imperial University are allowed to join. Therefore, as only 7 people per year are allowed to join, it's a small group compared to a normal organization of alumni. However, its solidarity is unrivaled.
Thank you for inviting me to such a gathering. I'm honored. I would like to pick the lowest seat.
Oh no, we can't let someone with such accomplishments and experience sit in the lowest seat. I'm sure everyone will welcome you. The cabinet minister and several important government officials, company presidents and company advisors will be there. They'll all need you, and they'll provide the help you need.
Koizumi-sensei belongs to this association, right? He was my grandfather's best friend. What a coincidence.
I see. I'm sure Koizumi-sensei will be glad to find out that you'll be joining.
Isolated genius is a useless one. People live in society. You live in a society.
That's so funny.
Society is made up of connections between people. Nobody can ignore that. I do my best as an individual. To gain the power that can't be achieved as a mere individual, I have to rely on my connections in society. It's all for one purpose. I only wish, as Mio Takano. Yes. I can't spare any effort. My certain conviction will forge a certain future. Nobody can interfere. Nobody can stop me. I won't allow the die to roll a 1. I won't admit that diligent efforts can be erased by a mere train accident. I'm going to make all the dice roll 6s. I won't trust the die to God. I won't give it to luck. The only people who pray to God are people who don't want to work hard. I don't trust God. I'm going to create results myself. Strong will is going to create a certain future that God can't possibly prevent. This is a different way to become a god than the one my grandfather taught me. This is a way to become a god while still alive. When I realized it, I became truly free. Free from the sadness of losing my parents and my miserable life after that. Free from grandfather's tears when his article was stepped on. That's right. I'll be above God. I'll be an existence that God's caprices can't even touch. I'll make people recognize grandfather's research. It's the future I wish for. Future I promised will come to pass. People will fight over grandfather's article. People will respectfully read the same article that was once ridiculed and stepped on. Even if grandfather dies before that day comes, I won't cry over something like that. Because he already taught me. Even if after being buried, one can be resurrected. I'm going to complete his great work. The whole world will praise him. Grandfather will resurrect, become a god. He will be eternal. It's an everlasting bond. Bond not even a train accident can break. bond not even a die that rolls a 1 can disturb. Since the day of the train accident, my die kept rolling 1s over and over. I didn't give up. Kept working hard until today. I'll rise above the die. I'll decide what to roll on it. I'll decide my own fate. I'll do that with my unshakable willpower.
Sorry, I needed a drink after that.
Damn, that was good.
Oh yeah, bravo.
Why were they guessing to mass murder a woman?
Because she's determined. Fight to.
Oh my god.
In the distance, she's going for.
I can fix it like that tweet said.
You can't fix her.
Sorry about that. Really needed to take a drink.
Understandable. Have a good day.
She is morally gray.
When does the clinic open?
You see, she's.
There's going to be air conditioning.
Good question.
I heard that.
I heard it'll open next month. I hope there'll be a young doctor there. Oh, Eunice, you always talk about the strangest things.
I'm assuming this is Takano.
I heard some old ladies talking amongst themselves while I was going up the stairs to the shrine. UDA clinic is already complete, waiting and ready for opening. State-of-the-art equipment has been delivered and the research is waiting to begin as well.
You there?
I'm here, sorry. UDA 2 is standing by in top form, and he's almost as passionate as I am about Hinamizawa syndrome.
I'm gonna show it on stream.
Oh, that's good and funny.
If you were wondering what has been posted, go.
Con, can you please voice the line that's above it?
I hope they got fresh ass over there.
Oh my god. I forgot I had a picture of
Oh,
Sam.
man.
Mountain dogs of the counterintelligence unit to support and protect our research are already stationed at the dummy company somewhere in Okinomiya. They're getting in touch with various public institutions. Everything is going well.
You put the picture up on the thing!
Yes, I did put the picture up on the thing.
Oh, that's amazing.
Only thing to worry about would be the rumors about the Hinamizawa Dam construction plans. There's a rumor that the Ministry of Construction is pushing through a dam project that will submerge all of Hinamizawa, but they're under pressure from several groups. None of my contacts have much influence in the Ministry of Construction, so things aren't going well. Even if applying pressure doesn't work, there are other measures, so either way it'll come to a deadlock.
Kaneko, who's laughing in your background?
That's her.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine.
I'm watching the stream. It's not being narcissistic if I just want to make sure that everything's going smoothly.
No, it's fine.
No, it's not. Because I was wondering what I was hearing.
I will say there was a pretty exponential increase in the amount of people actively watching after that fucking post.
Wait, what did you post? This?
No, I put up the fucking old lady, and everyone shut up. Yeah.
Wait, isn't that supposed to be Grandma Mion?
Yeah, that's Grandma Mio. It was from a while back. This was from so long ago. This was when I think I just finished episode 4 of Umaneko.
I'm not being optimistic. Just know that's how it'll end. will conduct research here in Hinamizawa. I'm going to accomplish that with my absolute will.
Also, Rook, that's not an old guy, that's just a woman who was edited to look like a man.
It's one of the Umineko guys on top of
I
Oreo.
edited the meme lord himself, Kinzo's like, yeah, voice, face over it.
Build rich!
Anyways.
Didn't read that other one.
Oh, fuck.
That's why even if God rolls a 1 on the die and says he's going to submerge Hinamizawa, I will not be afraid. I won't entrust my die to God. I'm the one who's going to pick up the die, and I'm going to roll a 6. I come to this shrine to declare war on the god of this place. I came because I know that you can get a great view from up. I walked by the shrine and headed to the spot I found last time I visited. The perfect spot for overlooking. Strong wind reminds me that I'm only at the starting line. There will be a headwind before I reach my goal. I looked over the village without faltering in the wind. Grandfather approached the syndrome from a medical point of view. Also approached it from a folkloric one as well. Strange belief in this system, in this village, is proof that the existence of Hinamizawa syndrome was already known of even in ancient times. So, it will be extremely useful to research their history too. My grandfather hadn't been doing research for hundreds of years, of course. The place has been here for hundreds of years. Been living with Hinamizawa syndrome for that long. Before the beliefs were created in this place, and the legend itself could be considered by most researchers. Stupid to just call them old folk tales or nonsense. I've been researching them slowly, all indeed very interesting. Wonder grandfather was intrigued by them. Hinamizawa syndrome has fascinating things to it. It's like a kaleidoscope, showing infinite light for a slight change in angle. It's so much fun to trace grandfather's research. The same results as my grandfather reminds me that I am indeed following in his footsteps, which makes me very happy. The shrine is dedicated to Shiro-sama, guardian deity of the village. This god the villagers worship is simply a delusion that was created by the parasites. I solve their secret and announce it to the world. God of this place will be no more. It's the moment. Take revenge on the one who put me through misery and tested my fate. This isn't just about making my father's dreams come true. It's about getting revenge for my miserable life. Back to the front of the shrine. Off the toy box there, and I'm tempted to throw this one. But I'm tempted to throw some coins. But you normally offer coins to ask for mercy. Don't entrust me on it. So I don't need to give an offering. I'm going to unmask him. Until then, Yashiro-sama is a god. Okay. In that case, I'll show respect for now. declaration of war, pull out a 10-yen coin from my wallet. 10-yen coin I found in the telephone booth changed my life. If it hadn't been there, my life would have ended then. I'm grateful at least for that 10-yen coin. I'm not grateful to the god of their shrine, though. I haven't forgiven you yet. Never expected anything from you, and I am here because of my own hard work. If you keep playing tricks of fate or keep rolling a 1 on a die, it won't bother me. My certain will, I'm going to get what I want. My grandfather will be praised, become a god because of the research I'll do in his place. We'll defeat the god of this village, become an instance of even gods. Since when did I care about God, huh? Maybe because my grandfather often talked about him? Here's the 10-yen coin you gave me before. My debt's paid off now. Just keep clinging to your throne and tormenting people with your trials, while I fight my battles to knock you down from there. So, I chucked the 10-yen coin I once borrowed from God into the offertory box. For a moment, I couldn't understand what just happened. 10-yen coin was only supposed to fall into the offertory box. But how can I explain this? It's not what had happened. Aimed correctly, for certain. Miss an offertory box anyway. Not it. The 10-yen coin stopped in midair, as if it got stuck in a spider web. And it bounced back to me, and fell by my feet. It was as though the offertory box had refused the coin. Of course. Offertory box is to respect God. What I did, challenge him. That means desist. I jumped, because I thought I was the only one here. Pardon me. Anyone would jump when finding there's someone else standing there unexpected me. How long has she been there?
Wait, what?
What?
It's like she came out of the shrine. A mysterious girl is standing on the other side of the offertory box. She's wearing a shrine baby uniform, so she must be one of the caretakers here. I thought too. Something else about her. She's not just one of the shrine caretakers. She's the shrine itself. Eyes. Staring into my eyes. Oh, she's glaring. Smiling back fearlessly. I think she heard my words of challenge to God. She's wearing that expression on her face because of that. Words came out naturally. Who are God of this place, aren't you? The girl did nod. I took that as a yes. It's a contradictory feeling. Rejecting the god of this land, denying its very existence. I don't doubt this girl is that god. The girl opened her mouth to speak.
Strong will. It reinforces hate. Faith.
That's right. That's what I say to myself often. I never said that to anyone who quoted it from him. But under normal circumstances, I should be surprised if this girl said that. This girl is human, so I'm not surprised. So I'm not surprised. Reply to her. One throws the die of fate, has fun with people depending on what he gets. People have willpower. Stronger the willpower, less chance of being found by the result of the die. You see? People can gain a power that's strong enough to fight fate by working to their limits.
Yes, I understand that very well. Unshakable conviction defeats the die of fate.
That's right. That is mankind's revenge against the gods who toy with them and dice roll. The hymn of those who allow the gods and forge their own destiny. Oh, my divinity, I earned this day through effort after enduring all misfortune. A laughter flowed out of my mouth. The girl's face displayed a strong will of her own. Expression didn't change.
I understand very well. No matter how many times we repeat, our fate doesn't change. It is all because of your strong willpower.
That's right. Strong will forces fate. That fate, though empowered, isn't bothered by the result of the die. Certainly.
You, a human, on that truth before us gods, have been living for hundreds of years. I admit it. Your existence is close to that of a god.
I'm honored. Girl glared at me with her eyes half shut. Well, it was more like she was proclaiming something, or displaying her own strong willpower.
I won't be defeated this time. Always thought we couldn't win against you. That was why I surrendered. I abandoned hope and crawled around in the wheel of life. Then I learned. The power of belief can cause a miracle that forges your own destiny.
If you say you'll cause a miracle using a strong will that will defeat the destiny wasn't by mine. That's logical enough. But that's the law of this world. Strong will can look at design.
He won't be defeated by your will.
That's fine. So you insist on old god. I didn't see if your willpower can defeat mine. God tests people. People aren't allowed to test God. So I'm going to test you here. Your willpower can defeat mine. Come on, go ahead. Try it. It's clearly a declaration of war from me to God. This is the beginning of my revenge toward God. Put me through so much misery. This girl, this god, is accepting my challenge directly. I'm not as powerful as you are. Can't do as many things as you can. And if my willpower is as strong as yours, you're still more powerful than I am. That's right. You've gained an overwhelming power. You have absolutely no idea what I had to go through to get it. You can't even touch me. No. You know how powerful you are. Compared to yours, the power my friends and I command is insignificant. I can choose not to give up. I won't admit my loss. Won't give up until the day when your die rolls 1 and my die rolls 6. I will prove the strength of my willpower by not surrendering to you for eternity. Picking up stones on the riverbed will allow us to cross the river and appear before you as an equal. That's when this long battle of fate will come to an end. Fine. Come on then. We'll see who has the stronger will. Whoever has the stronger conviction will create the future. The future will be desired, and a stronger conviction will come to battle. I will hold my ground. My future, grandfather's great work is bright and he becomes a god. I will take revenge on God for testing me and making me go through such misery. Ah, stupid little god. I'll show you. I'll drag you down from your pedestal. Bring it on!
This was Shin Megami Tensei all along!
Wait, we're switching to Hanyu's perspective now.
Because it's no longer Takano's story.
It's no longer talking
Dude,
about
I'm so fucking ready for the next part, but we're ending it today. We're ending it now today.
Finally began.
Matsubayashi.
Wait, are we getting anime?
Wait, we're gonna get the
We're gonna get anime.
Why did Levi's just doing the funny?
Remember, react really
funny
loudly
content
so we don't
screen?
get copyright struck.
Wait,
Well,
wait, is this actually copyright?
Alright.
Probably.
Okay.
Put
Have my
a
finger on the
picture.
trigger.
Put a picture of Takano on my screen right now, and I'll make
Here we
8
go.
noises.
This is copyright muted.
Hello all, your humble editor Joshi here. Unfortunately, we cannot show the opening of Higurashi Matsubayashi. Some of you may ask why. Well, for one, we need to get AC back. We haven't seen him in weeks.
Oh god. Can't feel my spleen.
Get up now! Shut up! Get up!
Alright. Just don't hit me
Get in the
anymore.
car. Hurry up.
Where are you taking me?
Shut up.
And second, we respect the Digital Millennium Copyright Act and follow it as good citizens are supposed to. Hopefully, you still enjoy the rest of the session and our post-opening reactions. Have a good day.
Well, that was
Hold
interesting.
up.
I think that intro had some hard fucking spoilers.
Let's fucking go!
Yeah,
John,
Orange, why not just mute the game audio?
Whatever.
For anyone that's interested, particularly this is kind of the reason why we're not going to do the new intros for Umaneko is because it kind of just shows you shit.
I'm like
Yeah.
80% sure that at least one of them
You'll
was
probably
like,
not understand it, but
there were
okay.
some hard spoilers in there that I actually know about.
Also, all I will say is that I think the
Robert, did you just
Hot
ask what
Fire
kind of
was
spoilers?
a console arc.
What'd you say?
Were you not paying
Why
attention?
I don't listen to I don't watch like intros to like Yakuza games because they always spoil the plot.
I zoned out actually.
So specifically, do we want to continue or are we going to call it here?
Let's call it this.
Okay, alright.
We have enough genocide and
Wait, Orange, is that actually
very tired?
Wait.
I think that's Ryukishi talking.
Wait, what the?
I mean, he did say the title, so unless
I'm
one of them
curious to
gets
see where this goes. Welcome to the world of Higurashi Chapter 8, Matsuri Bayashi. In this world, you will be able to recreate the story from Hanyu's point of view. Your objective is to create the June 1983 ideal to you.
You said this wasn't video games.
You need to collect many different fragments to make that possible. However, Takano's conviction is very strong. To overturn, you'll need a lot of effort and a lot of fragments. I'll warn you right now, it'll be a slow and painful process.
But I wanted to join
How
it.
slow and how painful.
I sat through your World War II exposition,
Hanyu
bitch. You
went
can't
through
be
it
any
for
more
over
painful.
100 years, and she even had to stop and give in to fate. Beating Takano's conviction will not be easy. Trial in this role will put you through as much pain as Hanyu had to endure. You may surrender, just like Hanyu did, after being emotionally worn down by the consistent repetition of the worlds woven by countless fragments. And if you like surrendering, you can end this game at any time. But if you do, the world revolving around your friend's fates will be limited to Onikakushi through Minagoroshi. Forgetting about the world and uninstalling this product, you will finally accept
What?
death.
Wait, Orange. Orange, I need to ask you, is this the Dark Souls of visual novels?
This is
Fucking
really,
great Dark
this is
Souls and
really
you hollow
wrong.
out.
What the fuck are you
After you finish Higurashi, Riko
Just
like
personally
Mega
come to your house and beat you to death.
Does this have multiple endings? Was I lied to?
Like, well, there's one canon ending is the thing.
Fucking
Yeah, the canon one.
Your ideal June 1983 can be created by putting together 50 fragments that are scattered
These are the
all
tips.
over the world.
What the
Do we have to find these images?
You're probably
Put
kidding.
these fragments together.
Isn't this the plot to Inuyasha?
You will need
Yes.
the right one.
Yes.
Yes! We're playing it right now!
Is this Gmod?
So for the record,
Mexican
we
border
have to
RP.
connect
Oh
all
wait,
these.
this is the one that you told us about. You have to gather them all and read
you have
them all
to-
in the right
You
order.
have to do it all in the right order to get the super duper secret ending. There are 50
Well,
of them,
What
which may
time?
be dizzying.
Yeah.
However, this
The
world
end-
isn't that
Each
merciless.
chapter.
To ease your pain, there'll be a little help for you. When you choose the wrong pieces, your only ally here will give you a sign that it's not yet time to put those fragments together. As long as the sign remains, you won't be able to connect them. You might as well go look for different ones. What do you mean, look for different ones? Is this,
Said there weren't gonna be video
becoming
games,
an open
Orange.
world? Is this becoming an open
Yes!
world video game?
Are we gonna get fragments from like a certain
This is
mansion in the
Grand
middle of
Theft
an
Auto
island?
Enemies Download Edition.
I wish you running over that family was a hint towards the open world car mechanics.
Damn it!
After you put other fragments together, you might be able to connect the ones you couldn't put together earlier. When that happens, she'll let you know. Let's put those fragments together. You'll be able to join the other ones too. Connect all 50, then it'll become one big fragment. There you'll find your ideal June 1983. That's when the long-awaited Matsura Bayashi will begin. Before you peek at each fragment, why don't you line up all 50 of them first? Most of them require all other fragments. There are only a few that you can actually look at. Let's try to find those first. To see the condition for connecting fragments, just point the cursor at them.
Cursor at them!
Wait, I just want to hear what it says, but shut up.
Let's find the ones you can look at without any
Become a puzzle
conditions.
game now with open world mechanics!
This will be an extremely long and difficult trial. Let
Oh,
me tell
God.
you again, Hanyu challenged this for over 100 years and gave up on it. You believe in miracles in the same way your friends do. And if you don't live in the world where they live, if you believe in them...
Let's do this shit!
I want to hear what this is.
Welcome to the world of Higurashi Chapter 8. Matsura Bayashi. In this world, you'll be tested to see if you believe in the world that Rika and the others believes in. A miracle only happens when everyone combines their strength. The June 1983 created by Takano is nearly indomitable. She gathered so many pieces whose powers are beyond the average person to her side. Her backers will be at the center of national authority. Even if 100 dice all rolled once, there wouldn't even be a chance to defeat her. In other words, a miracle is the only way forward. A miracle happens only when everyone combines their strength. And you are one of them.
Raise your hands in the air, guys.
Are you ready?
Lend them your energy.
I'm more than ready. Key to a long journey is not to pressure yourself too hard. Well, let's take it at a light pace. I'll work while drinking my usual wine.
This
is Rika. Whatever, I'm gonna finish this. Shall we begin?
Oh yeah, it's Rika.
Are we gonna get a fucking...
obviously Ryukishi.
Are we gonna get a fucking chart?
Are we gonna get tips?
Show me the chart, Ryukishi.
Oh boy, I'm having a fucking... I'm having a moment.
Wait, are we seriously gonna have to go listen to 50
You have obtained
in a row?
new fragments.
But you have to listen to 50 in a row?
Do we want to continue? Okay, we're going!
Okay, hold on.
Like the hedgehog.
Is this like,
Oh my god!
What the fuck is happening?
Let's go video game!
Wait.
This is
Okay.
now better than Human Echo.
Let's look at the beginning. Let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
So what is this music?
No. We aren't doing this. I'm looking at a guide. This is stupid.
Wait. Can you?
No. Let us try.
Wait, guys.
No, guys, shut the fuck up. We do this going at crazy. Pardon me. If we do this going in completely blind, there is a very good chance that we will all simultaneously fuck it up.
So keep in mind, number one, we have to get all 50 of these in the proper order to get the true ending extra fragment.
Alright, can you just have...
If we don't, we will have to if we don't do it in the correct order, we will have to start from the beginning and speed through every single one of them to get the correct ending.
Oh god.
Yeah, now
Which is why it is optimal that we just look at a guide.
Now I just want to ask, could you just hover
Silly
over the
Hon,
first
you
image? I
didn't
just
even
want
have
to see
the
what it
internet.
says.
Alright, so do we want to just look at each? Okay, we can look at each of them. Okay.
Okay.
C-103 dose experiment. Satoko Hojo's detailed test results is required. Kyusuke Urie's decision is required. H170. The discontinuation of Satoko Hojo's dissection plan is required. Wait a minute. This Satoko Hojo's dissection plan?
That was in the anime, but I don't think they mentioned it.
Urie's motive is to become a doctor is required. A red capsule.
30 years curse before your
Wait, let Orange do it. Let's just let Orange do it.
Research is going well.
Okay,
An L5
sorry.
stage patient's dissection is required. Help from the Queen Carrier is required. The first sacrifice. A live specimen for research is required. A tragedy at the dam construction site is required. The second sacrifice. The death of the construction site manager is required. The hospitalization of Satoko Hojo is required. Rika's father becomes marked as an opportunist is required. His mother's suspicion is required. The death of Satoko Hojo's aunt is required.
So wait, these aren't in order.
Wait,
I make up order.
I understand it now. Like it's hinting at what part you need.
Yeah, it's like basically what I'm gathering is that like we were giving all these explanations, but there's only one true like connection of these in each one.
Wait, so do all of these require something?
What it's saying is
this fragment is required first.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the first one.
And then it's telling you what will happen. So whenever we go into what that is, it'll give us the story. Then we have to find which of these hints continues off of that story.
Basically,
so you're telling me you have to watch every single one of these tips in order to get it to work?
Well, no, even
in the
more
right
than
order.
that. Like we can watch these in pretty much any order, from what I understand, unless like it specifically tells you that you can't. Because like there's a bunch of these that you just straight up can't start yet already. But to get the proper, true, final hidden bonus fragment, you literally need to do these all in the correct order. So I don't want to waste time. I'm going to look at a guide.
So wait, but if you fuck it up, that means you have to restart the entire game?
If we fuck it up, no. Like here's the thing: we can do trial and error in that shit. But if we want it on the first try, we will have to. If we start fucking it up, we'll have to start all over and reread through all of them.
Yeah, sadly, the thing is, I do it's very clear that it's like it wants you to do it by trial and error, so it probably wants you to fail the first time, but we don't have that time. We have lives.
Yeah.
We have Umineko more specifically.
Like even more than that,
lives.
it would be extremely fucking tedious for me because I'd have to speed through all 50 fragments in the right order.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that like I get the point of this. It's supposed to be just like, hey, why don't you do it?
So I'm wondering, there's something I'm wondering is, say that we do it in different wrong orders, would the story as it goes be different each time?
Guys, I'm looking at a guide right now and it says we have to beat this first.
What?
What?
Huh?
Yeah, Mr. Robo, don't look at the things,
Yeah,
you might
stop
get
looking
spoiled.
at the thing.
Unless you don't care about spoilers. But...
All I see is numbers, man.
Okay.
Okay, so let me
So
see.
wait, what? We have to beat the game and get a bad ending before we can get the good ending?
No.
No. What we have to do is connect all of these in the proper order. Now, Orange, if I may ask, is it all in actually like all of these pieces have to be connected correctly, or is it just one
We
from?
have to read these all in the correct order.
I'm just wondering what how many alternate
Also,
endings there are. And
wait a minute. There's 2 of them that are required. Okay, so we're starting off the fucking bat with 2 options here. Okay.
thing is that maybe both of them would work first.
No, they wouldn't. This is actually the one we start with first.
Oh, that's fucked up. So I'm wondering, I'm just wondering how many alternate, if say that we start wrong in different ways, if that would actually change the middle parts of the story, or if we would literally have to speed through.
Something that I will say that they detail in this guide is that fragments can break. I don't know what that means.
That sounds insane.
But it sounds like it's gonna fuck our shit.
Wait. Wild
this
look
sounds
saying
fucking
screen look.
rad, but holy shit, is it a panic attack for people who want to get through it?
Yeah, this is a huge pain in the ass.
Just imagine being the first one to figure this shit out.
You know what?
Like,
This is
on,
fucking
like,
rad though.
Pro
This is
board
rad.
in 2002.
I'm not gonna
that
front.
you figured
Super
out.
cool. Yes.
Sorry, I just wanted to say, maybe we should go ahead and just call it a night now, so we don't do anything extremely dumb.
No, we're gonna pick the first one at the very least.
I was also gonna say, I may need to turn in now, because I'm kind of feeling nauseous.
Okay, that's fine.
Alright, let's end this.
For the record, I have hit the first. I clicked the first one that is required for you to get the good ending, so don't worry. So we will start with government officials talking, I guess.
But what was it? Fucking I'm a little sad we can't do it that way, but I understand why, because it sounds like a massive pain in the ass.
I would love to do it the
maybe if it wasn't that many actual fucking tips on there, if you have to choose the right
50,
one, you literally have to come through 50. I think it should have been choose the correct one from this page and then move on and choose the next. I think that would have been a lot more fun, but I think kind of what Ryukishi was going for, you kind of needed to go through this. What?
So now number 1, Matsura Bayashi Hand effectively answers a majority of all the questions left open, such as, I'm not going to tell you exactly what.
Night, Bob.
Good night, Bard. So yeah, these are all incredibly important, and they basically answer the rest of the questions the series has to ask.
Is this the length of fucking episode 8?
More than that. I have to beat the game at least once to even try to get the secret ending. That means that even if we do it all in the correct order on the first try, I have to go through and do it all again.
Oh, so you have to speed read this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, I do want to say maybe if Ryukishi is a merciful god, there'll be new stuff in the second run.
No.
No.
It literally tells you to skip everything.
I remember there was this guy who makes videos who was saying that some games are so obtuse that they should be handed out as prison sentences. Oh yeah, you are in jail until you can beat this game. Imagine if there were no hints, none of that. You need to beat this first. This would literally keep someone in jail for murder for the amount of time.
That would cause a murder. We would go and murder him.
I feel like it's probably not too hard, but the fact that we have to go through the story again, replaying a fucking like visual novel ending to get an ending bit, that seems like a bit much. Like, I'll be real with you, Umineko just straight up doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Is this Phantom
Literally,
Pain?
literally just wait, we can find that shit on YouTube, can't you?
Probably.
We could, but I feel like we might as well just have it here so it's a little less.
That's
obvious.
letting the terrorists win.
The exact reason why I want to do this is because you get an achievement for it, and I want to have the entire thing completed. I was hoping that if we just do it,
If you're up for it, I'm totally up for it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's just like I'm gonna do it in order for the first time, and I mean, hey, if it unlocks, it unlocks. If not, we're just gonna have to do a lot of speed reading.
Yeah, luckily the speed read function in that is
yeah,
very fast. It is fast.
Mm-hmm.
It is fast, but
I'm just hoping that means
still gonna take a bit.
I am hoping that that it means that these are very, very short.
To be honest, Orange, I've looked at the fucking time for this fucking episode. I don't think they're going to be short.
Well, here's the thing. There's there's 7 pages of each of those like sections. I imagine that each block will be the size of a scene transition, because those scene transitions last for like each scene, like it'll be the length of a scene. Like,
Are you talking about like a chapter, or
I'm talking about those boxes, those puzzle pieces. I think that they will be the length of a like scene of a background.
Just
like you will be
background?
it will be Satoko talking to Irie
Oh,
in
so
clinic, and that will be the entire
chapter
thing.
breaks where the black bars on top of the.
I think it will be like the length of maybe 1 or 2 background transitions, if that makes sense.
I mean, like, we've been in one location for like almost an hour before.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Fucking holy shit!
So I'm thinking these might be like small chunks, because it's like 7 pages, but there's like what, like 8 chunks in each of those pages.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Where
something.
the fuck is the time estimation I put down?
There are 50 chunks.
Right, and each one is probably going to be about 20 minutes, with some maybe being an hour, I would assume.
So let's say hypothetically that each one of these is about 30 minutes long, at minimum. That's still 25 hours.
And I did the math, and I don't know where I put it, but this is where I remember it still. It was like 31-ish hours to complete this entire chapter.
By the way, Orange, write down that list and then cross it. Make sure that you cross them out so you don't have to just memorize it.